Hello, space bookers. Welcome to this Type 40 live Dalek special. What? 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 A Doctor Who Day special? Why is it always about that big show-off? The Daleks are supreme. We will rule. Well, have it your way. Run titles. Exterminate!
That was chilling, wasn't it, everybody? Yes, it's time for Type 40 Live, your live streamed Doctor Who show. Materializing again here on the Spacebook channel, whatever time zone or time stream that you're joining us from. Welcome. Yes, this is Type 40 Live hitting your screen in real time for content and conversation here on YouTube and Facebook in front of a live chat full of friends, fans, and companions just like you. And as always, we're in podcast form too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Dan Hadley, Birmingham's king of the geeks, and this is it. This is yet another big event. The Doctor Who calendar's full of events, I know, but I don't get sick of saying this. I don't think you get sick of hearing it either. Lots to get into on this edition of the show. We're going to go right back to the very, very beginning, bring you up to date, and talk about everything else in between, really, with lots of treats and a guests. Wait and see what we've got coming up on your live stream Doctor Who show again for this evening. Okay, so let's get into the show. Yeah, it's our big Doctor Who Day party here on Type 40 Live. We're marking the 59th birthday of our favourite TV series with the usual blend of fun and games, news, banter, fan art, and lots more. As you could tell by the intro, there's a few surprises that we're going to get into on this one. And I think I'm going to waste no more time in bringing in the team, bringing on the panel for the show. Let's hook up with the Doctor Who loft and see what's going on with my mate JT there. Where is he? There he is.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, Spacebookers, you playthings of Sutek U. Hope you are well. Hello, Daniel.
Good evening. Yeah, here we are again. And it's not okay. We're 24 hours on. It's all gone timey-wimey, as that Moffat bloke would say. But here we are, back to the beginning, back where it all started, to reconnect with the dawn of Doctor Who and look forward to the future like we always do on Type 40 Live. It's an exciting time, isn't it, JT? Yeah, you stirred.
I am, in a sense, because I'm very excited about this show, because this show we've got some fantastic guests coming on, and you're going to love it. It's going to be brilliant. And it's a great time to do this. So hello to everybody watching us.
Yeah, everybody out there on YouTube and Facebook, where we're streaming live, of course, as always, over there to the Type 40 Facebook group. Hi, everybody there. Now, you've got to remember, if you want to interact with the show, if you want to have your comments up on screen, you've got to hit that little blue link, and then Facebook will tell StreamYard who you are. StreamYard tells us, and we all get on first name terms for the Doctor Who Day show. And it's going to be even more essential tonight because it's going to be quite a lively, raucous one, even by our standards. And are you ready for that, Charlotte Shields? What
Isn't it always lively though? But we've got extra
It is.
liveliness, I think,
It
tonight.
is. Yeah, I don't really know how quite to introduce our guest for this one, JT, because I suppose you could say that in the Doctor Who universe, we're used to colourful characters, aren't we? But not literally. Whereas when it comes to what they do and how they do it, it's kind of as if it's sort of the school bell's rung and it's playtime all the time, isn't it? Throughout the whole of time and space.
Oh, it absolutely is. And certainly for our guest this evening on this very special Doctor Who Day 2022 show, the universe is his playground, and he's going to be bringing on some superb creations, some of whom you'll know. And also, by the way, if you want to speak to anybody that's coming on the show tonight, Facebookers, let us know, put a question in or something like that, and we'll try and bring it up for you.
Let's see who's joined us early doors already on this one. Crimpling Doubloon says, "Ahoy, shipmates!" Again, right in there with the nautical theme, and it's a good evening from him. Specifically him, meaning the Darren zone. Nice to see you, Darren. And Richard Brooks is here too. He's joined us. We've interrupted his viewing of the season 8 Blu-ray there.
Very good.
It's good that he's got his priorities straight, I think. And Lord Thoth's here too and says, "Hi, everyone." Got some more here. Who else is here? Simon Ashley. I'm very excited about the Big Finish 60th anniversary story. We have...
this time next year, Simon.
Yeah, Wendology says, "Hail to all you lovely space bookers. Chatting, but not tagging tonight." Is tagging? No, that's not tagging. That's something else. TARDIS Spider says hello. And our Queen Charlotte.
Hello.
Robert Payne seems excited by the word raucous.
Oh, that's a good word. Let's bring that back.
Yeah.
Bring back raucous, and let's bring on our guest all the way from, never mind Coronation Street. I'm thinking more of something a little more sophisticated, specifically an avenue. It's our new friend JJ, all the way from Avenue Who.
Woo! Hello.
Evening, everyone. Hi.
Good evening. Great to have you here. So Avenue Who, where is that exactly? Have you got any space-time coordinates, or is it?
Well, it's just round the corner from the Milky Way and up the road from Quality Street. Yeah.
Hey!
Oh, it started.
I was going to say, you know, it's nearly Christmas, folks. We've already got the selection box jokes.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? I bought myself an advent calendar the other day, and it was actually for Travel Lodge, but all the chocolates are still in there because the windows don't open. Doesn't get any better.
Yeah, I think he's going to fit right in, everybody. Thanks for that one, JJ. That's the kind of gags we like.
For the occasion, we've gone right back to day one, and look, it's I am for, and that logo's there because it's now I am for person.
Let's be forewarned.
Beautifully placed. Just as TARDIS Spider says in the live chat on YouTube, it's time to like the video now. You're going to be having far too much fun later on. Like the video now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and why wouldn't you? And hit the cluster bell so you get all the notifications about what we're doing next and when we're doing it. Okay, more and more people coming into the live chat. Carol Jude's here. Thank you, Carol. Thank you.
Hi,
JJ says starry-eyed girl, and Mark Milford says hello all. Get well soon, Sarah. She's not well tonight.
Yeah, get well soon,
guys. Says the thin
king. Germs.
Yeah, she's got real
Full of
she's got
germs.
northern germs. She had a pasty or something like that, so she's playing it on a bit. Yes. She's from the
She went
north.
Greg.
Where I'm from, we have a Wigan kebab, and it's a pie on a barm.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you're all common
Well,
as
let's,
milk.
now.
let's have a quick look back in time, of course, to the very dawn of Doctor Who. 59 years ago, near enough 59 years ago, the TARDIS first materialized on our screens, didn't it? And it carried with it William Hartnell, Carol Ann Ford, William Russell, and Jacqueline Hill, the stars, the original cast of Doctor Who, and produced by Verity Lambert and directed by Waris Hussein. That original 4-part story began, and so did a television legend. You know, I think between us, we allude back to those days all the time. None of us were there to actually watch this particular legend begin, but it's one that we revere, we enjoy, and we celebrate in our own way. Now, some people actually watch the very first episode of Doctor Who on this day or near enough every single year, don't they? People have got their rituals associated with Doctor Who, haven't they, JJ? Have you got any rituals from your childhood to present day?
Well, on what, for the anniversary, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
No. No, I do. Yeah, do you know what I am planning to do though? For officially, we are now in. No, we're not, are we? When's the actual 60th year? Does that actually start next year?
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny you mention that. It's funny you mention that.
Really.
Because if you think about it, I suppose if from the moment an episode airs, say An Unearthly Child aired in 1963 in November, from then until the 23rd of November 1964 was its first year.
Year zero.
So you could say that, you know, until it hit that one. So you could say, you know, we're looking at the 60th anniversary. This is that 60th year. That's my disclaimer, Auntie. You can have that one, BBC Studios. I know you're watching. They always watch.
Well, I am actually planning to do a series rewatch from the start all the way through. These tend to happen, don't they, every time we get a big anniversary, and I think the 60th is a great one to do it.
What you mean? Every episode on your DVD and Blu-ray collection?
Yes.
Have you started then?
I'll be starting straight after the show tonight.
Yeah, because I think you might be a couple of months behind.
Yes.
He's in the mood. Crimpoline de Bloom says, "Aren't we in the 60th year now?" Yeah, I agree. I'll go with that. I'll definitely go with that. And I think
Yeah,
he would agree. He would agree too. There we are. Okay, so yeah, so for all that, we look back obviously to the very, very dawn of Doctor Who at this time every year, but we also think I believe, Charlotte, about how it was when we first discovered the show. You know, because all of us are too young to have watched it when it was originally on, and yet it found us, or we found it. I'm never really sure which comes first. I think depending on who you are and who you talk to, it's kind of like that. But what about you? Have you got any rituals associated with the anniversary, or things that you particularly remember?
I've got a lot of fond memories of the 50th, because that was my first big anniversary story, because I didn't watch the classic era for the 3 Doctors or the 5 Doctors. So the 50th was my first real year of seeing the BBC and like the show just being everywhere and having that sense of occasion. And I loved just like all the panels and all the past Doctors coming back and talking at least.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of fun memories of the 50th. And also, people know Matt's my doctor. So I was so happy that he was fronting such a big story. And even with Tennant being there, he wasn't like left to the side. I still feel like today Tennant and Smith got equal sort of story beats and equal sort of show, which is what I love, because a bit of me was scared that as soon as I knew Tennant was coming back, I was like, oh, don't let it be the Tennant show, because it's Matt's time still and he's not gone yet. So a lot of fond memories for the 50th, and I'm hoping for the 60th. I've got a lot of things crossed for the 60th.
JT, you and I, we talk a little, don't we, about these anniversaries, and you snarl a little at the tag Doctor Who Day, don't you? Because it's always been just the anniversary and all that kind of thing. But I believe that the event is kind of morphing, and it's not just about the birth of Doctor Who anymore. That this day is now coming to sort of to be a sort of statement, really, about our fandom, our entire fandom, and where we got on board with it, and what it means to us. Is that a load of airy fairy nonsense? Or does that make sense to you? Can you see why people do hashtag retweet and do all this stuff?
No, it's a massive
come on, yes you can.
I can't. It's a massive big business operation. That's all it is. It's about marketing and making money. And people jump on bandwagons left, right, and centre these days for anything to make themselves look good, to show that they're a good person, to illustrate a point, whatever it is. And the whole thing about this is it's come up in the last few years just so that they can sell more merchandise on the day, so that they can get more money from people. That's all it is. It's a big marketing campaign.
But it's a way of when you're handling an intellectual property in this day and age, in the 21st century, it's a way of crystallizing its appeal and its fundamentals, isn't it? And I just asked Charlotte that question. It immediately took her back to kind of, if not the dawn of her fandom, then certainly a very heady time. I think that's the same for a lot of people. We talked about mine last week when we talked about the 5 Doctors here on Type 40 Live. And I think for some people, it could be simply that ritual of Saturday evenings in front of the television, or watching the guy with the big eyes and the big smile and the long scarf, and it's that place. It's sort of, it takes them back there rather than back to 1963, or it could be people who only watched it for a short period of time. I think when they see Doctor Who trending or whatever else, I think that is becoming what Doctor Who Day is about. But that could be just me. I'm prepared
JT's
to accept.
Face says no. JT's face says no.
JT's tuned out.
JJ, I think it brings out the kid in all of us, whoever we are. And
my kid never left. He's still here.
Well, can I just say to Paul Murray, I've just seen him in the chat saying he had that poster Tom was about to sign in that picture you just showed. So have I. I've still got that over there. Great big pull-out thing that we used to get back in the 70s. We used to love them. Just, oh my God. Do you remember them, JJ? Do you remember those big pull-out posters? Yeah. Oh my God.
And then you used to put blue tack and stick them on the wall, and then they would all tear and rip. And
absolutely, yeah. Love it.
Payne said, if this is the 60th year, I was born in 1969, which I wasn't. That's a vow. I know I'm sticking with it.
Starts in January, doesn't it? Because it's 2023 is its 60th year. Currently, we're in the 59th. On the 1st of January, we can start with the 60th stuff like that.
See,
so, yeah.
Why I ask
if anyone wants it to be the anniversary and get a head start on those early black and white episodes, then do it. Don't be swayed by us. Just go for it.
A green light from anybody else. And the reason why I do ask is because Doctor Who does bring out that inner child in everybody, whether it's a second childhood or just one lifelong childhood. And I think Charlotte, when I saw these pictures this week from the Scottish BAFTAs, it made it very clear to me that with these two gentlemen in particular, Ncuti Gatwa and Peter Capaldi, that's the first time I ever saw them together. I'm sure they've met before, but there they were at the Scottish BAFTAs, and immediately, just in these two pictures, there's a dozen photos of them together.
Yeah, can you afford the colour ones?
Some of them. These are the arty-farty ones, JT, don't you know?
They're beautiful, aren't they? Look at them.
These are the posh ones.
They are. But I like the fact, on one, we see Ncuti, you're cracking up. You can't fake a smile like that. You can't fake that kind of laugh. And then on the one on the left, we see both of them. We see Capaldi immediately going back into business, doing the hand acting and staring into the middle distance, and Ncuti playing along. And that's what it feels like. It's like playtime. And just for the sake of a few photographs, these two guys haven't been in a story together that we know of, but just for these few seconds, it's playtime. And they're there, they're in the same space, they're having fun, and they're connecting with Doctor Who there. That's what I think it's all about. That's why I think that we flock together and talk about this show. That's how we became friends in the first place, and that's why you guys are here for each and every edition of Type 40 Live. Not just that, because you've liked the video too, haven't you, and subscribed to the channel and hit the cloister bell too whilst you've been at it. There's lots to get into on this show. We're going to get to more of JJ in a moment, but we're also going to be looking at this too. We've got the Type 40 Live Faces of 2022 coming your way as well, so don't miss that. Avenue Who, then, JJ. Where did this start? How on earth did you get here? What's Avenue Who all about? For the people who've never seen the logo and never seen your mush before.
What is this? You know, can I just say, a bit like the BBC, they went along to the Metropolitan Police and sort of said, "Oh, they've not used that police box for ages. We'll have that, and we'll call it a TARDIS, yeah." And then it's ours now. Well,
Yes.
they'd not used that diamond logo for donkey's years. I've been using. They've nicked it back. They're copying me. Look at that. They're copying me.
How dare they?
Well, you know, it's like imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So, thank you very much. But mine now.
Yeah,
So go on,
Sue.
So, right. So, for
Try,
those who
Sean.
don't know, right, Avenue Who is a clever pun because have any of you seen the stage show in the West End or Broadway called Avenue Q?
I think I
I've
was
seen
in it.
pictures.
Right. Well, there you go. So, for those who don't know, Avenue Q is like an adult version of Sesame Street. And so, yeah, it uses lots of
Gotcha.
Muppety type Muppets, as done by the style of Jim Henson. So, from the Muppet Show and Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock and all those amazing products that they used to do, or still do. And I was a massive fan as a kid, huge fan. I wanted to be, believe it or not, Kermit the Frog when I grew up.
I could believe that.
When
Yeah.
you grew up.
Yeah. I
Small
wanted.
child, mate.
I just idolized him. He was my hero. I loved him.
He was Robin at the time, Dan, and then he wanted to grow up to be Kermit.
Oh, Robin. Yeah,
I
Robin
think
the
I was a
nephew.
tadpole, is what I was at that time. And then I thought, well, my other big love is Doctor Who. And I thought, what would happen if those two products clashed and collided, on what would the mayhem be that ensued?
Just imagine.
And so, so then about 10 years ago, I used to do some Olympiads and stuff with other fans and things. And in the evening, to entertain them and show off, basically, we would do like a little, like a cabaret. And so I would like pop on there with a couple of little handmade puppets and do some funny and rude gags. And Avenue Who was actually born, the pun being taken from Avenue Q. So I was basically just piggybacking off their popularity at the time as well. And then a couple of years ago, during lockdown, it really ramped up a gear, and I decided to start building a lot more puppets and a lot more characters, and starting to build. Oh, look, there they are on the screen. Now, those two were my very first two. So that's Sylvester, as you can tell, and he's dressed as Sylvester McCoy, and Capaldi is there as the lovely 12th Doctor, and they might be around somewhere tonight. You never know. But that photo is actually taken at the Doctor Experience in Cardiff, and so as you can see there, I'm not behind the barrier. Oh no!
Oh, I'm so jealous. I so wanted to go over that barrier.
Puppets,
Access you've got.
Yeah. They can say anything. They can get away with. They can do anything, and so they open all kinds of doors for me.
I'll get you on the barriers. Yes.
And already, I think people are finding the level here. Starry House Sarah says, "Damn right, Kermit is the best." Robert, bringing back memories here. Robert Payne says he wants to get to the top of the stairs. He's talking about Robin there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Simon Ashley's a Fraggle Rock fan. Fraggle Rock. Good memories.
Well, Fraggle Rock, incidentally, returned last year during lockdown. They did. What happened was the chap who was working over at the studios at Sesame Street he was a massive fan of the Fraggles, so he kept the Fraggles actually in his office. And when they were being sent home, he bundled them all in a bag, took them home, and then from home they sent like green screens to puppeteers, and from home they recorded little segments called Fraggle Rocking, and that was so popular on Apple Plus that they commissioned a brand new series. And so if there are any fans of Fraggle Rock, get onto Apple Plus. There's a brand new series, and it's just aired this year. So it's proper. It's back.
I had no idea. Sarah says that laugh my arse off at Capaldi's attack eyebrows. I love how Sylvester's doffing his hat there, the way that he would always on the show.
What you can see with Sylvester's hat as well is that the hair is attached to the hat. So when you lift the hat, the hair goes with it.
Oh,
Yeah, if you
no,
can see on
yeah.
that picture.
There
So.
he is. No.
But yeah,
To
so what we
say,
had,
isn't it, JJ? You get around, don't you? Not just to places, but with people as well. This is
know.
a
I'm
thing.
always touching them. That's what
You are outrageous.
I get my grubby little protuberances all over them.
So you say it already took off for you during lockdown, but
It did,
that was obviously
yes,
when
yeah.
we're all tucked away in our homes. You couldn't take these things out and about then, could you? So what was your starting point with this? You had an idea, you had a mind, you certainly had the skill set, the will. Where on earth did you start with this? Was it with one particular character in mind, or just with a whole process in your head? Did you always know how you could get there to make this world, this mishmash, that mashup of a world? That's what they call it. Is it a mashup? How you could make this actually a reality?
It was a case of I had the idea. I thought, let's just go for this. It'll be loads of fun, and with us being in lockdown, you'll appreciate that not only was I the puppet builder, I was also the puppet performer. I was also the lighting guy and the camera guy and the the producer and the writer and I did the catering and the sound design. Lots of catering during lockdown. So yeah, it's very much a one-man band, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And what I did is what you can see there are some of the concept sketches. So the ideas come from as I'm a big fan of the Muppets, you can see there the doodle for Capaldi. He's very sort of a tall, thin head, and because I was building him along with Sylvester at the time, they were very much my Ernie and Bert. Now, if you remember Ernie and Bert, he had a very tall, thin head, and the one was a little round one. And so they were my starting points. But also, Capaldi, one of the people in the chat room, did mention his attack eyebrows. Mm-hmm. He has a mechanism inside the head that waggles the eyebrows. Oh, yeah. They are attack eyebrows. Now, maybe we can get him to demonstrate that later. And then as you look at, that's the initial doodle for Tom as well. And he was very much inspired by Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem and the Cookie Monster with the big googly eyes. So, yeah, a lot of the puppets are influenced by existing characters there. I sort of take little elements. So a lot of them are very familiar. And then they get really bright, zany colours because, I can't be doing with like, oh, well, let's just make them in a flesh tone because that would be very dull. It would be a sea of pink fleece. And, it would be a little bit more colourful these days. But you know what I mean. So I choose bright, vivid colours for them as well. And there, actually, what we got here, there, you can actually see some of my very early ones. Now, that blue foam, it's the upholstery style foam that you can buy it in sheets and you can get in different thicknesses. And that's what that is. And that's what I used to start to build them. But, that foam isn't great and it does tear and it does rip. So I now have upgraded myself and I now use a material called reticulated foam. And that's the stuff that Henson's guys use to build the real Muppets. And it's really, really tough. So you can cut it, you can glue it, you can use hot glue, you can use contact adhesive, but it doesn't tear because it's proper tough stuff. And then I cover them with fleece.
I get the impression it's been a lot of trial and error for you, JJ.
It is, yeah. And so, I think Sylvester is on a generation 2 now. So people have asked me as well, what happens when they get grubby and dirty and all damaged?
Yeah, you can't just chuck them in the wash, can you? They fall to bits.
No, I throw them away in the bin, build a new one. That's what I do.
Yeah, just like the BBC.
Extraordinary. It's really captured the imaginations of people in the live chat already. TARDIS Spoiler says it's loads of fun. Isn't that what Doctor Who is for? Mark Milford says the fans are doing the best work. Well, we're bound to agree with that here at Type 40 Live, aren't we? Darren Bradley says I had a poster of Robin, the little frog, sitting at the top of the stairs. And Peter Harrington, he advises that Electric Mayhem lives.
They so do.
In Tom.
Vivisection of the Muppets, says Crimpling Doubloon, so creating the Doctor Who style title there for us. And yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's really inspirational, JJ, to know that you had the idea, and rather than sit around thinking, wouldn't it be fun if this happened, if that happened, you've brought it into reality. And not only that, you've taken it out to the punters, you've taken it to the public, and taken it to the stage and to the stars, haven't you? What do they make of all this?
Well, look
seeing
at
you in
that.
action.
Well, as you can see, there's Sylvester. Bless him. Can you see him? He's holding up 3 fingers because he was fascinated. He was holding little Sylvester's hand going, I've got 3 fingers. Look at this. Oh, isn't this amazing? I've got 3 fingers. Hey. Because obviously that's how Sylvester sounds.
Yeah.
But then the thing there with Paul meeting meeting 13 is it was very exciting. I was invited over to not that I don't want to do this a disservice, but you know, I went to Seattle. They paid for my flights, they paid for my hotel, they treated me like a star, and I was doing Master of Ceremonies and introducing some of the guests and things. And yeah, this Paul McGann fella turned up. I don't know who he is.
He looks as if he's getting ready for you to sort of launch at him and do the whole sort of
Johnny has that effect on most people. Don't let me.
I was going to say, did you do the accent? Is that what it is? Did you do the Sheffield accent?
Oh, I couldn't possibly comment. Maybe we could ask her later.
Yeah, maybe so.
Well, speaking of Paul McGann, actually, I was chatting with him there, and because the stars, they do love it. They get really excited. And I didn't actually have a Paul McGann puppet when I went over to Seattle this summer. So this was back in August when I went to Gross. But I did have the design drawings, the sketches for him. And what was really nice was I got to sit down with Paul and say, oh, right, well, I'd love to have your input. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Yeah. And I had a whole series of different noses to try on. So, yeah, Paul picked his own nose.
Well done.
Yeah.
And then you're going to send it off to him
he's had an input into the design of it. And here, as an exclusive, I've actually got the skull of Paul's puppet as I'm building it right now, because I'm doing it right now. So this here will be Paul's head. But what you can see is I've just got a little pin in here. I pop it out so I can show you. So this is that lovely reticulated form that I was telling you about. And so, it's disappearing on that. It's almost like I'm on a green screen. You would never know.
Are you really?
So look at that. So it's really, really tough. So I give that a good old yank, and it's not going anywhere, is it? And don't know if you can actually see it. You can actually see in there. Can you see that bit there?
Yeah.
That's a little piece there. That my thumb goes in that bit.
Yeah.
And as I tilt that up, you can see there's a bit there. And you can see my hand bit goes in there.
So it's like that.
So that's it. So if I put my hand in, there you go. You can see it.
Wow.
It works like that. And then this is Muppet Fleece. This is it's not Antron Fleece. I've forgotten the name, but it's great because it has lots of stretch to it, and so it's very stretchy, and it's all hand stitched. So it uses a Henson stitch, which is a bit like a whip stitch, if you know anything about sewing.
Does that come from Jim Henson, the name?
Well, the stitch? Yeah, it was sort of it was his little stitch that he sort of created for doing the little Kermit heads and things like that. And so once that's all hand stitched up and everything, you'll see it's this gorgeous sort of a tangerine yellow he's going to be. Yeah. So.
Did Paul know he was going to be tangerine yellow?
Yeah, no, he picked it. He picked it. He picked the colour, picked the nose.
Lovely.
So that's what it looks like underneath before all the bits and pieces go on and everything. So it's they're not that glamorous, are they? When you see the skulls and you've peeled the skin off, it's a bit gross, isn't it?
Glorious. And are you going to send him pictures when it's all done? Are you going to go and take it to him for a photo opportunity?
Photo? I'm going to do a bit. I'm going to say, Paul, come on. He's my mate now. I was on holiday with him. I'm saying, let's do a video, matey. Let's do this, and I probably will, and I'll probably do like a reveal video with Paul. But yeah, a couple of the guys have actually met their puppets. So much so that one of the people off the telly actually provides the voice for one of my puppets.
That's amazing. I mean, you've got quite the collection here, quite the assortment of Whovians there, Sylvester, David Tennant, and of course the mighty Tom Baker. A real. There's something for everybody, I think. However, and whenever you grew up with Doctor Who, you managed to encapsulate these characters so beautifully, just from what I've seen here. And as you say, you've got one of them with you now, haven't you? Who's with you?
Yeah.
Who's this?
This one I don't actually do the voice for, because this one is voiced by an actress. You may have heard of her. It's Sophie Aldred's. So yeah, Sophie Aldred does the voice for this Ace puppet. So here we go. So here she is, and obviously she's not going to say anything because Sophie's not here, and didn't pre-record anything. So soz. But you can have a look at her. So yeah, this is her. We can have a little close-up look. So as you can see, she's got this. Yeah. This is like fringing. The stuff that you get of like old. Your grandma might have this on an old sofa or something, or a tatty old. Like lampshade or something. Yeah, it's that stuff. But I think it has this really great quality where it just like bounces around and moves. And so Janice from the Electric Mayhem used to have stringy hair like this. And I loved it. Did, yeah. So and then the eyes are like ping pong balls with some little teddy bear eyes, and that's a little button that's been covered with some fleece. And then, she has, look at these cute little earrings. Now, I tried to make them as authentic as possible, but that is a Pac-Man, and it's disappearing because of the green screen. Sorry. There we are. But even though Ace never actually wore Pac-Man earrings, I feel like she would have done.
She would.
She would, yes.
And so all the badges, I have tried to source the badges and make it as authentic as possible. So she has, the BSA, the football. She has the little patches there. Even down to the Flower Child earring. There we are.
Wow, well done.
And the Blue Peter badges, of course. Yeah. There we are.
And JJ, you do the outfits for these as well, don't you? You create the outfits here.
I create the outfits. Yeah. I try and make them as authentic as possible, because I just figured, as a fan myself, if I was watching the videos, I'd be going, "Oh, that's great," or "Not that funny, but the puppets are nice," or I'd be like, "That's wrong. She never had that badge. That's wrong. That jumper on Sylvester."
It's the attention to detail that makes all the difference, JJ. I completely agree.
Yeah. And so,
any character wrapped in it just looked like any character wrapped in a bin bag or something like that, without the little features, without the badges, without the earring.
It is. So I do try and make them as authentic and as great as possible, as close to the real thing. And most things, all these badges, I sourced them all, and then I had to have them all scaled down as well. And then it's but that's the thing, everything for the Wholigans. Sorry, they're called Wholigans. Isn't that great? I was
going to mention that, everybody's Facebook is Meet the Wholigans. This is so important. This is the Hooligan Squad from Avenue Who.
So, but everything is half scale for them. So I have a half scale TARDIS. I have a half scale TARDIS console with all the. They use the green screen a lot. But I wanted a half-scale console so I could play with it. And I tell you, I do. It's behind the screen now, and it's just got all the buttons and the switches. It's a Brukaki, the William Hartnell version. So that's where it is. It's got all the knobs and switches, and I love it.
And people in the live chat on YouTube and Facebook, they love it too. Wicked says Crimpling Doubloon, and Mark Milford loves the K9 and the Cyberman. Paul Murray said that they're great puppets, fantastic caricatures. We've got Mark Milford's asking any chances for Avenue Who merchandise. Stay tuned, Mark. All links will be in the comment in the description, and we'll be asking all those questions later on, no doubt. A Muppet Sutek, please. We're taking requests now, Peter. We're taking requests. How about that?
We never thought of that, did we? We didn't think of asking for requests. I never. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Raston Warrior Robot says Sarah, and Woodhouse 122 said better than those horrible falsetto sock puppets.
I disagree. The falsetto sock puppets are marvelous. I love them.
I have no idea what that is.
They did the Edinburgh Fringe, and you can get them on YouTube. They're hilarious. They're lots of fun. It's two socks. But
Well, You've got Ace there with you now, obviously. And whether she's mute this evening, maybe she's had a few. I don't know, but it's an ideal chance for me to kick this off. I think, Charlotte, because this is our Type 40 Live Faces of 2022. You see, because it's customary at this time of year in the media, they begin those endless rounds of backslapping at various presentations and awards and all of that, and leave them to it. That's what I say, as long as I don't have to watch it. But what's important is, what do the fans think? What's made our year? What's made your year? Or more to the point, who? And here at Type 40 Live, we're more than happy to fire off some love or not in the directions of the folks who've sent our time rotors spinning. So we're back again this year with our slightly rechristened Doctor Who Personality of the Year award, if you like. Between now and Christmas, we're on a quest to decide the Type 40 Live Face of 2022. Each of us has a nomination, and with another suggestion too from our companions in the Type 40 Facebook group. And tonight is when we first put some of them before you and launch this competition proper. We're going to tell you how you can register your vote and get involved too. So keep listening and watching for all of that. But firstly, because we've got Ace there herself, I thought it was an ideal time for me to talk about my pick, and that is who else could it be? Sophie Aldred. So yeah, I've always liked Ace in the series, everybody. I've always liked Sophie Aldred too. I've met her a couple of times. I suspect most fans probably have, haven't they, JT? But in the last few years, I don't know what it is. In the last few years in particular, I've been struck by a feeling that I've got really used to her presence. And I think I may have taken this woman's presence and contribution to Doctor Who a little for granted. How can I put this? I think I haven't given much thought over the decades now to how much she's actually done and continues to do. And that's beside playing Ace on television for those stories between 87 and 89. I'm thinking of the fan films, the interviews, the auctions, the voiceovers, writing, fundraising, social media, audios and podcasts. I know, except this one, Sophie. When? When? I don't know. Seriously, though, is there anybody in the Doctor Who community or the family who gets it and gets us better, more than Sophie Aldred does? What do you think, JT?
Yeah, I'm just going to say JJ's going to nip off right now because it's that time of the show where he's going to nip off. So we'll see you shortly. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you in a moment.
Are you going to take him backstage, Dan?
There we are.
Right,
Can you tell it live, folks?
Yeah. So when it comes to Sophie Aldred, well, Sophie's been around quite a lot now, hasn't she? And one thing that's always got me about Sophie is she's always been very supportive of fans over the years. I first met Sophie in what was it, 80? When did the show come out? 89? Would have been 89, 1990. And she came to a convention, and she was just lovely to everybody. She made time for everybody. It was a big one up in Liverpool. I mean, she came across as a very lovely lady. So it's nice that that she's still around, isn't it?
Well, it struck me, Charlotte. She came to the role of Ace in her early 20s, and she's had a career and a family, and seems to have had a very full, happy life, and continues to be creative and continues to work, and yet here she still is, still really involved with something that she has been with for over 30 years.
Yeah, you can really tell, like, certain actors sometimes, especially when they're young, they can get a bit of shamed for what they did when they're younger. But with Sophie, it's the opposite. She adores the fact she was in Doctor Who and still is. And she was one of the highlights for the special, easily. Like, her and the classic Doctors were really the highlights for me. You could really tell it was an actress who just wanted to be there, who wanted just to have that involvement again. And that her reaction when she was in the TARDIS was lovely. Like that, even you could just tell when she was so excited, and that came through. And that's what I always associate with Sophie, excitement, and just that almost childish glee that she never seems to lose, which is lovely to see.
There was something about those moments when she was on screen. They introduced Ace in The Power of the Doctor, that BBC centenary special, just a few weeks ago. They introduced her quite early in it, and when the camera sort of hangs on her, and we just see her there in that gallery, Sophie looked like a movie star. I think she's got so much charisma.
She had a presence, didn't she? I think that's what also really shone in the special. She didn't even have to say a lot.
She brought some real weight and star quality to what, and I this is just me talking. I know that other views are available in a piece of entertainment that was pretty forgettable for the most part. But she really lent it that sense of authenticity, and that there was somebody who knew their role, knows the audience, and was along for the ride, but pulling more than her weight across the full 90 minutes of that thing. It was incredibly impressive. And when she wasn't on the screen, I did feel it felt rather flat. But her involvement on the show and with the fandom now, all these decades, there are so many incarnations, I feel, of Sophie Aldred that have existed in Doctor Who right the way back to 1987. And it took, to my shame, I think it took to this Power of the Doctor special, as I say, something I didn't particularly enjoy, to make me realise exactly what her contribution has been, and what she means to me, and what that character actually symbolises. She was a companion for the ages. We're hearing that expression bandied around now. And I think now is the ideal time for Sophie to get more recognition. Yeah, we'd love to see her in that spin-off show, but ideally, let's see fandom. Let's see the Doctor Who Whoniverse give her a bit more love back. I know that I'm certainly looking at those performances and those contributions in a new light, and that's why my nomination for the Type 40 Live Face Off 2022 is Sophie Aldred. Let us know what you think of that in the live chat and in the comment section. That's our number one pick, and there'll be more coming up later on. I think we've got. I think somebody's about to materialise. Somebody's about to beam in. Let's check. Let's check to see what this is. Okay, we've got. Hang on a second. What's going on? Yep, it's a call from the Vortex. Okay. He's here. All right. He will knock 4 times. He will ring 4 times. In this instance, it's at the 10th Doctor himself. Doctor. Can you hear us?
Hello there.
Hello, Doctor.
I'm the Doctor. And from a wibbly-wobbly point of view, I'm number 14. Yeah! Did you miss me?
I was going to say, Doctor, where's your blue coat then if you're 14?
Well, it's sort of got a bit delayed from Redbubble. That's the problem. It's not arrived yet, so we had to get some new fabric made. And until then, I just had a nosy round in the wardrobe and found this old thing. It still fits.
It looks lovely. I have to say, Doctor, we have missed you.
And I missed you too. It's about time I was back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
I'm just curious, Doctor, because I use wax on my hair, on my quiff. What is it you use? I've always wanted to know.
It's a Mongolian fur cushion. That's what that is.
I think that's what I need to get.
Yeah.
As I start to get thinner, I need to get hold of some of that maybe and get it stitched
That's
in.
right. Yep. It's just it's a cushion. Wear a wig.
How does it feel, Doctor, to be back?
Oh, it's amazing. I feel like I've never been away.
We've got a comment here from Starry-Eyed Girl in the chat who said, "How are you enjoying your new old teeth, Doctor?"
My new old teeth? Let's have a look. No. I think I left the dentures in the glass by the bed.
So, Doctor, have you already redecorated your TARDIS? Because it's not crystals.
Well, you know, it's a. I'll let you into a secret. It's a green screen. We can put anything we want on there. Yeah. It looks like I'm in the TARDIS. Look at that.
It's looking very, very spick.
Yeah. It's like I've never been away.
Well, we're certainly very relieved to have you back, Doctor, and can't wait to see what you're going to get up to on screen in the anniversary year.
Neither can I. It's all very exciting, isn't it?
I was going to say, you're going to give us any spoilers?
I don't know. Shall we say Donna?
Thanks.
That's a hell of a spoiler, that one. Oh.
Cheers for that, Doctor. Yeah.
So, what's your favourite part of being back in Doctor Who at the moment, Doctor?
Getting paid! Yeah! Yeah, it's great to have a regular paycheck again.
And it's big, isn't it? It's a big wad.
Oh, yeah. And now that we've got all that money coming in from Disney and Sony and Russell's own personal bank account.
I think that's what he's doing. I think he's opening up the coffers.
Yeah.
Little arrangement between you two, yeah?
Yeah. I don't do it for the love of it, you know.
It's all coming out now. These are the kind of exclusives.
I'm joking. I'm just gossiping with ya.
And Doctor, will you be busy with the Wholigans from Avenue Who over the next year, doing various promotions and what have you? What have the Wholigans got in store over the next few months?
Well, there's loads of new stuff going to be coming up as well. So at the moment, me and the other Wholigans get to travel all around the UK. Granted, mostly me in Cardiff, but you know, what we tend to do is go back to where we filmed the Doctor Who show back in the day, and then we visit it again. It's like a then and now, but with me and my other guys in it. It's great.
And where can we see this, Doctor?
Right. Well, this very important. Are you all paying attention?
Yes.
This is YouTube.com/Avenue Who. Yeah. Now click like and subscribe. It would make me and the other guys very happy.
And do you all live together in the TARDIS, Doctor?
Yes, we do. Yeah. and quite often we actually went on holiday. There was 9 of us in a suitcase. And I'm just saying, that was not bigger on the inside.
No, how did you manage?
I was going to say, Doctor, who has the biggest room in the TARDIS then? Or in the suitcase? Who has the most room?
We all share the same one. And I tell you what, you know that Jodie? She's got massive feet.
She looks the type. Darren Bradley is in the chat joining us, Doctor, and he asks, what is your new catchphrase? Can you get us into that?
Are you ready for this?
As ready as ever be.
Alonzi! No, it's just the same as the old one. Yeah. See, that's the thing as well. People are expecting loads of new monsters, but basically it'll be like a fish in a boiler suit. Or what? Or a cat in a boiler suit. Or a rhino in a fetish suit. What?
Why not?
That's what it is. It's just you name any animal and we'll stick it in a boiler suit. That's what we do.
It's not what you know,
we just
it's who you know.
Or we just get beat the meat back. That's just like a rat.
Oh, you said something, Charlotte.
Spoilers!
We're supposed to know that. We're supposed to know that.
Okay.
Doctor Who returns in 2023. Of course, it does with the Doctor here, our special guest here on Type 40 Live's Doctor Who Day for 2022 show. We're delighted to have you with us, Doctor. And I think, see, we've got any more questions in the live chat. Simon Ashley asks,
Hi, Doctor. Questions. Ask me anything.
What about Shooty? Can you say anything about Shooty? Have you met your successor? What's he like?
What about him? I'm the Doctor. You don't need anybody else. It's me. It's all about me.
Well, so the BBC would tend to agree with you, Doctor, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I've just had a subscriber. I read it there. It's very exciting. Even though my eyes are plastic, I can read. Yeah.
Your eyes look gorgeous, I have to say.
I was going to say, it's all that Time Lord brain, isn't it, working, Doctor? All that Time Lord knowledge.
Oh, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Well, speaking of which, Doctor Who does return in 2023. I imagine, Doctor, you've probably got to go off and rehearse your lines for some of that, haven't you? And sort all that out, get it all nailed down before we can see whatever it is you've been working on.
Oh, yeah, but I just make it up as I go along. That's what it is.
Is that the secret? These writers have won all these awards. It's all a bit of a scam, isn't it, do you think?
Yeah, yeah, completely. It's all real.
Spitball it.
Well, you're looking well, Doctor. I have to say, you're looking very, very good.
Yeah. I've
Well,
got
thank you very much. And so are you. You're my favourite one now. Yeah.
Hair care tips and spoilers, and the genuine current Doctor here with us on Type 40 Live. You don't get this on Mr. TARDIS and Radio Free Scaro, do you? Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the cloister bell to get all the notifications about what we're doing next and when we're doing it. Thanks for joining us on this one, Doctor. Can't wait to see what you're going to go up to. What you're going to go up to next time. But yeah, that's. I think I hear the vortex.
Thank you,
He
Doctor.
doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go, but says like he's
I
going to
don't want to
Oh.
Yes, that's Doctor Who Returns 2023 with the 10th Doctor, or was it the 14th Doctor? It's certainly that Doctor in one guise or another. I can't wait to see where that goes next. Of course, we had a couple of questions there in the live chat about his successor, which leads us nicely to the next one. This is the next of our choices for the Type 40 Live Faces of 2022, and this one's yours, Charlotte. So you've picked this guy. Tell me, who is this, and why have you chosen Ncuti Gatwa?
I've chosen Ncuti because I think we all sort of guessed Tennant was going to come back, so we were all a bit nervous about who was going to be the first new face as our Doctor, and we were all a bit sort of tender hooks. And Ncuti has just come in with so much grace and so much charm and so much excitement and just love. And that's what I really see off him. The more we're starting to see little interviews now come out, the little things he's doing on YouTube, which have all been lovely. Yeah. And I just think he's been such a brilliant ambassador already. We use that term a lot about doctors. And he's not put a foot wrong. And it's so nice to see an actor back who is just humble. Like I said, he's talked about the legacy. He's talked about how much this show means to fans. And I think that is a massive, lovely sign that he's talking about that stuff. And but more just him, he's just this energetic presence, which sort of gives me a little bit of flashbacks to Matt, but different. And I just think he's done so well. I'm just so excited to see when he's fully the Doctor in 2024 what he's going to be like. So that's why I got Ncuti.
It's one thing, isn't it, to sort of breeze into the pop culture landscape with a big smile and lots of promise, and with somebody that we as an audience we trust sort of leading the way. But it's we're several months on from the revelation now, aren't we, JT? We were very excited back in May, and it's been a heady time, but choppy waters because things have been said by other parties. And yet Charlotte's right, isn't she? Throughout all of this, Ncuti Gatwa has kept smiling. He's becoming more and more engaged, more and more like. Every time I see him, the more I see him, the more I like. The man speaks, you can't help but listen. He seems to just be brimming over with charisma and enthusiasm, respect, and a feeling that the TARDIS is in safe hands, as they say on cheesy TV shows. Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it? Because for those of us who are old hands at this sort of thing, and for whom this is Doctor number whatever, because we've been around for quite a while, and regeneration now is just, the change of lead is just something that happens for us. It's not a big deal as much anymore. But I have to say, I am very, very impressed with how Ncuti has actually taken to this, because it has been very much a case of, you think this is in the safe hands, isn't it? And he's been so mature about it all, and he's taken everything in his stride, and everything's calm. Because I think he knows it's part of the plan. This whole build up to where he's going, he knows the bigger picture. He knows where everything fits in. He knows his role in all this. And it's interesting, Charlotte, they usually use the word ambassador for Ncuti, because I think he's the first real actor that's taken on the role in this incredible world that we're in now, where everything breaks on social media and everybody's there, and this happens and it's fast and it's furious, and you have to watch what you're saying. And I think he's handled it brilliantly, and I think the term ambassador is actually right now very well deserved, because he's had such an elegance about this. He's handled it beautifully, in my opinion, and I think he's just shown a certain grace, if you like, to this, a certain class. So yeah, I think he's just doing brilliantly. Well done, Ncuti.
Obviously, Ncuti Gatwa, he's just had his 30th birthday, Charlotte. Sometimes he looks really, really young.
Yes.
he looks after himself. We all know that. I saw him with a shirt on for the first time last week in a photograph. I couldn't believe it was the same guy. But he's one of these actors, though, I feel, that is going to have a kind of chameleon-like quality. I think in 2 or 3 years' time, just like Capaldi, we didn't think that Capaldi would be able to escape Malcolm Tucker, but he did. Now he is predominantly the Doctor. And for all that his character, Eric, in Sex Education, that's who Ncuti is most famous for. That's the part that's got him a million followers on Instagram. It's still possible, even with a following like that in 2 or 3 years' time, there will only be the Doctor. That will be what Ncuti Gatwa will become synonymous with this show. That's possible, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's very possible, because Sex Education is big, but it's got a very precise audience, whereas Doctor Who's a much more broader audience in comparison. And like a lot of people, when he got announced, like I had no idea who he was. I just went, oh okay. Like I was just happy it was a bloke again, if I'm being honest. And then the more I sort of watched bits of Sex Education, the more he's started to do the promotion now. And actually, no, we've got a young actor who's actually got sort of this wise head on his shoulders. And just the clip, we obviously have only seen 1 second in the trailer. But even in that, I got, oh, wow, he's a bit angry. He's a bit intense. He's a bit sort of forceful. And I actually liked that, even in just the second we saw. And I know we were talking about this last week. I hope he keeps the tash. I think it looks good.
Well, who knows what? That's all down to costume and stuff like that, isn't it? So who knows what he's going to be? We'll know soon, Charlotte.
Dashing.
That's what I'm so looking forward to, when the costume starts to be shown.
Dashing, absolutely dashing. I've got sorry about this, everybody. I've got another phone call. Hello. Yes. Oh, okay. It's somebody just ranting a very thick Scottish accent, something about a pudding brain. I don't take abusive phone calls. Don't think I take abusive phone calls here, but there is
outrageous.
It could explain who's about to materialise. Yes, Doctor.
Hello there. I'm the Doctor. Oops, I seem to be having a skin problem.
How are you, Doctor?
Oh, well, still rattling around in my old box.
It's great to see you, Doctor. I mean, it does seem like your hair's got quite big as well, but those eyebrows are unmistakable. Very good to have
these eyebrows.
Multi-Doctor edition. Those. It's like a sunroof, Doctor.
There you go. The attack eyebrows. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I hate to be on the receiving end of some of that.
Is that handy when you meet the hooligan Daleks? Is it, Doctor?
Well, yeah. They're the grumpy little tin things.
So,
what's so funny?
So tell me, Doctor, this TARDIS of yours.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of clutter lining the stairs and the shelves.
Clutter!
And all that kind of thing. Do you know where everything is, or do you lose things the way that I do?
No. I know where everything is in the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, except the bits that I don't know.
So when a bit falls off, what do you do with it? Do you just put it in your pocket and sort it out later? What happens there?
Well, bits of me don't fall off.
I don't know. You've got that stage skin condition.
Yeah, it's almost like I have some issues with the green screen. Oh, they just can't get the producers. I'm blaming you guys. There's some kind of interference in the vortex.
It might be that Missy hooligan, mightn't it? You never know.
It might be. She's a wee little minx.
I bet she's fun though when you're in a suitcase, eh?
Oh yes. I mean, no idea what you're talking about.
Listen, you sound like you're from a particular part of Glasgow. I think you know exactly what we're talking about.
Glasgow, I'm from Gallifrey. Yeah, daft
yeah.
Egypt.
Do you have a fridge on board?
Pasternak.
Do you have a fridge on board the TARDIS, Doctor?
A fridge?
Uh-huh.
I may have a fridge here somewhere.
Just for the odd drink and stuff like that. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I do not drink.
Is it what they call a dram? Your eyebrows are going down very well with our viewers here on YouTube and Facebook here, Doctor. Simon Ashley says you have magnificent eyebrows. He may want to have some fitted for himself. Can you recommend a salon that sorts that out for you?
That's true. I do actually have a salon that looks after just my eyebrows. Yeah. I have them shampoo and set.
Do you get an estimate first? Is that when you go in? Do they?
No, I never pay.
Of course he doesn't pay. He's a Gallifreyan.
That's because I'm Scottish. So I leave before I've actually arrived. It's a wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing.
And what adventures are you up to at the moment now, Doctor?
Well, no, not a lot. I just sort of sit here, read my books, and I'm playing my wee guitar and reminiscing about poor old Clara, who I don't remember.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
I don't know if you're missing much there.
I was going to say, fond memories or not.
Yes, very fond memories. I really don't understand what everyone's problem with Clara was. She was a lovely wee tiny little girl.
Darren Bradley says, what other things do you like to open besides bottle tops?
What, with these eyebrows?
Mm.
I can open. That's a weird question. I really don't know what to say to that.
Weird questions.
Yeah.
We've got Shah from Geek Rambles in the live chat says, has anybody noticed how JT has started drifting towards the Scottish accent? Is it bringing you together with a fellow Scot, JT? That it's bringing it to the surface? Is that what it is?
Yeah, those things can happen occasionally. Absolutely.
Oh, look! Someone's speaking my language now. Hey!
I was gonna ask you, Doctor, for you and the Wholigans, can you just remind us where again we can catch up with all your adventures around?
Yes. It's YouTube / Avenue Who. Yeah. Oh, you can find us on the Facebook at Avenue Who, and there's also Instagram. We're on there as well at Avenue Who, and Twitter. Can you guess what it is?
No.
It's Avenue Who HQ. Because some other wee agent stole Avenue Who, and I was not happy at all about, and I was really, really kind of incensed.
So you can
But
find.
Doctor, I thought you didn't
Yes.
like Twitter. I thought you didn't like Twitter.
I don't do the Twitter. I've got him down there to do the Twitter.
Oh, you have a minion. Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, everywhere I go, he's there.
That must be a bit of an inconvenience.
Well, yeah. It's,
Look at this. Paul Murray says, Doctor, those eyebrows would be great communicating with people from Delphi.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course it would. That needs to be. I think we could see you in a full feature-length adventure there. With
well, that's going to be a 20-disc box set coming from Big Finish soon.
Sensible business move. Nick Briggs, we can't wait to
Don't
hear
give
it.
them
We can't wait to
ideas.
Yeah,
It'll happen.
good stuff. Well, I suppose these. God, I suppose these Mars bars aren't going to deep fry themselves. We better not keep you very much
Nah.
longer.
This is true.
But it's been delightful for you to spend some time with us poor pudding brains here at Type 40 Live tonight.
Well, you're very welcome.
And you can catch up with the Doctor and all his chums on Avenue Who. All those social medias, they'll be in the description to the video and the show notes to the
There better
podcast.
be, or I'm coming for
as
you,
well.
Dan
I believe
Hardley.
I believe you. I believe you. It's like, oh, we've got problems. We're losing the Doctor. We're losing the Doctor. Oh,
No, no!
Oh, God. Yeah, so thanks for that. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
It's great to meet your heroes, isn't it, Charlotte?
Oh, brilliant.
I hope you're
Okay.
appreciating this, Facebook, because this is a good one. This is hard work. This one. If you appreciate it, please like it. Yeah, share this one.
Yes, please like some more. Unlike it, then like it again. And don't forget that if you want to hear it as well as see it, you can get all the audio editions of this show, as well as the Type 40 podcast itself at the dedicated home feed for Type 40 at type40.podbean.com or all major podcatchers. We're absolutely everywhere. The Spotify's. We're on Amazon Music. We've just launched on Amazon Music. Really like that. And there's Apple Podcasts, all those usual places. Podbay, Podbean, you name it. That's where you can find us. It's time we take a break, I think, from all this hilarity with the Doctors. Who knows what's going to happen next? I've absolutely no idea, but I know what I need. I need a manway. Yes, it's time to go and point Percy or Peter at the porcelain and to take in a special Type 40 Live Doctor Who ad break. This is the bit where you'll get to see faces and voices from the past, our Doctor Who legends, when they were shamelessly advertising whatever bit of old crap. I mean, whatever they needed to earn a crust or whatever. Step back in time, go through the decades, and remember some of these. We'll see you back here again in a couple of minutes. I have no idea who's going to turn up next, but you've got to be here to find out.
Hi, I'm Sophie Aldred. As companion to Sylvester McCoy in Doctor Who, I've learned a lot about public television in America. I've learned that NJN is the station you can depend on to bring you the best of PBS, plus unique programmes like Doctor Who. If you're as crazy about Doctor Who as I am, call now with your pledge of support for NJN, the public television station for New Jersey. NJN and Doctor Who need you.
What is a dad? A dad is someone you can depend on to build a better future for his family, to keep his head in a tight corner, to remember that his family prefer Terry's Moonlight chocolates because Moonlight's half milk, half plain assortment makes the whole family happy. And so at the end of the day, he too can feel happy to think that he has given his all. Terry's Moonlight, half milk, half plain, twice the pleasure.
Hello, I'm John Nathan Turner.
And I'm Janet Fielding. No, that's not right. Let's start again. Hello, I'm John Nathan Turner.
And I'm Janet Fielding.
We're here in Channel 17 studios for... What are we here for?
To make sure that they do their membership pledge.
How'd they do that?
It's very easy. All they have to do is pick up the phone, dial 716-881-4800.
And when do they do that then?
Well, any time, but now, preferably.
Good. Say good night, Janet.
Good night, Janet.
Man, machine, beauty, beast, brains, brawn, like riding lightning, a 1,000-horse stampede lashed by the devil himself, defying physics, defying gravity, defying death, picturing every twist, every turn, corner, chicane, every inch of unforgiving tarmac made real in the theatre of the mind. The racing driver lives for one thing: to win. I love to win, but I also love to dance.
Hey! Yeah, we're back here at Type 40 Live with our special Doctor Who Day 2022 show. Who knows what's going to happen next, where throughout time and space we're going to be, and which guest could be dropping in. Let's go and check out what people have got to say about all of this in the live chat. Take me with you, Doctor, says Shah. Excellent, says William Jennings. And hang on a second. We've got somebody on the phone here. Hello. Okay. Sideways in Time. This is a call from Sideways in Time, and they want to know if I can reverse the charge. Okay, whatever. He's only got futuristic coinage, whatever that means. I think. Okay, we'll let you in. We'll let you in. Yes, we've got another one. Here we come. Yet another Doctor. It's a multi-Doctor live stream here at Type 40 Live at Doctor. Where are you? There he is. No, he's
Boo! Hello there. I bet you thought I wasn't the commandant, didn't you?
Hello, Doctor.
Hello. Oh dear, we do seem to be having issues with this green screen tonight, but you don't worry about it. I'm here, you're here. We're all having a brilliant time, aren't we, everybody?
Absolutely. Woo!
Woo!
Green screen Doctor. Have you bought the spoons? Are you going to play the spoons for us tonight?
Yes, except I only have one working arm.
Oh, I see.
The other one, it's on here with a safety pin.
I was going to say what happened to it, but now you've answered.
There we go.
People are delighted to see you in the live chat here.
It's great to see me back, isn't it?
It's
Were you all excited to see me in the anniversary special?
I was over the moon. You looked so well. Peter Harrington says, "Cheers for the chuckles, Doctor."
Oh, you're very welcome, Mr. Harrington.
Oh, Christ. Simon Ashley says, "Oh my God, I can't stop laughing. This is very serious business, Simon."
Oh no, it's very, very serious. You know, I was trying to teach those Cybermen to have a sense of humour. And if you want to see that video, head over to YouTube/Avenue Who. Yeah.
That's it.
I got it in with no prompting that time, Dan.
Have we got any questions here for the Doctor? Now, since we've got him here, another Scottish Doctor, a Paisley Doctor, says Peter again there.
What do you think about having another Scottish Doctor coming soon to
it's the best, isn't it? You know, those Scousers, they were outnumbering us for a while, and I was a bit worried, you know, because Tom and then Paul came along, and they were all like, right, calm down, and now we Scottish ones win, yeah!
It's good news. It's good news.
It's amazing news. I'm very excited. Are you excited? What about you guys? I'm looking up here. I don't know where I am. Are you excited to see Mr. Shooty Gatwar?
I'm over the moon. I can't wait to meet the 15th Doctor, but I have a very soft spot for the 7th Doctor, for your adventures with Ace in particular. I nominated Ace actress Sophie Aldred for our Face of 2022 earlier on. What do you think? Are you proud of everything that Ace has accomplished in the 30 years?
Absolutely. She's a smashing bird, isn't she? Yeah, we love Sophie. I walk around quite often at night going, Sophie! You know, we have the same birthday.
Yes, we do, don't you?
Yeah.
How old? How old are you, Doctor?
Oh, well, me, it's a bone of contention, isn't it? Because I think I said I was 943 in Time in the Rani, and I just think I was a bit suffering from post-regenerative amnesia. And so, I have no idea. I tell you what, I am as old as my gums and a little older than my teeth. Yeah.
What beautiful teeth you have, Doctor.
Shah says, "I loved meeting you last Saturday." That's at the London Sci-Fi and Comic Con, Sylvester.
Well, that was very lovely, but did you meet me or that old fellow who pretends to be me?
Good question. Good. Good question.
That is a good question, because when you do meet these people that are pretending to be you, these ultimate fans, how do you treat them?
Oh, with a great deal of respect, because they do a great job. I mean, I realise I am an icon, and they have to do a great job at imitating me. And I think he does a pretty good job overall, don't you think?
Well, yeah. What did you think about his turn in The Hobbit?
Oh, well, that's great, but he was covered in bird muck, wasn't he? He had a big streak of bird poo down his face. It's, yeah.
No, yeah, but I think it's much nicer to meet the real one, don't you?
Oh, yes. You know, the difference between me and that actor, though, is I got 3 fingers.
Let's have a look. Oh, they're so gorgeous, though.
Yeah.
Do you
3
find that?
fingers and a thumb.
Do you find that? Do you find? I can't believe I'm about to say this. Do you find that 3 fingers is all you need?
If I need another one, I break into the Kit Kats.
I don't think I can top that. It just came out, everybody. Well, Doctor, it's a real thrill. It's a real thrill to meet you. Obviously, I've been watching you and listening to you. It's even longer now on Big Finish. So, how you record audio dramas? How do you keep your throat lubricated? What's your favourite tipple?
Ah, well, yeah, you're talking. What I tend to do is travel forward in time. Yeah, and then what I do is I sneak into that Capaldi's TARDIS and raid his cupboard, because he's got a ton of whiskey in there, you know. He doesn't tell anybody he has it, but he really does.
I knew he had. You could
tell.
yes. You raid his temporal stash.
Mm-hmm.
Crimpling the balloon, a finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat. A finger of fudge is just enough until it's time to eat. It's full of Cadbury goodness, and lots of other chocolate companies are available.
I've just realised my little sister's watching. Sarah says, "Why is Dan so rude tonight?" It's blame him. The Doctor
I can tickle it from here. Ooh, look at that! I got your baubles.
Yeah, but Dan, I'm surprised you haven't asked him about your favourite episode.
Oh yes,
yes, filming. What was it like filming Delta and the Bannermen? Because it looks beautiful. You were on Barry Island there when you're making that story. But what was it really like? Did you manage to get
it was very exciting going to Wales. I mean, these days I'm never away from the blooming place. But back in those days, it was very exciting, and it wasn't near a quarry, and it was great because I felt like I was in Heidi High. I was just yeah.
Doctor, it's been a delight to spend just a short period of time and space with you on this show. Can't thank you enough. But one final question. You're the shortest of all the Doctors. How on earth do you reach the controls that are right at the top of the TARDIS console? Because that's a steep one you've got there.
Well, I wear high heels. I tend to be wearing them right now. They're like 6 inches. It's great. I bought them off my friend. He's a drag queen. He's just over there.
This does not surprise me at all.
I did ask. The Doctor wears. Is it Cuban heels? Or just
high heels? No. High heels, stilettos.
Okay, well, they must be killing you. We better let you go and put your feet up, Doctor. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Show.
Bye, Doctor.
Bye, JT. Bye, Queen Charlotte. Bye, Dan. I tickle your baubles. Woo!
Stop keep doing that. Yes. Oh, somewhere the tea was getting cold, and the Doctor needs to go and sort that out. Obviously. Let's bring some decorum back to the place and reconnect if we must with the Type 40 live faces of 2022. And specifically, it could take us a while to get through these. This could end up being a 2-show thing. So whilst we're here, JT, can you tell us about your nomination for the Face of 2022 this time? Who have you picked?
Absolutely. Well, this time round, obviously, because we're looking at the context of the year, there was only one person that came to my mind immediately, and it was the legend that is Bernard Cribbins.
Yes.
And without getting all doom and gloom, it was basically, Bernard Cribbins is a British legend. He's a national institution,
Yeah.
and he's we grew up with him. At my age especially, we grew up with Bernard. He told us stories at bedtime. He gave us the Wombles, all these wonderful things that we grew up with. He was in the Railway Children, another British classic there. He's all these wonderful things. Obviously, he was in Daleks Invasion 2150, and this is now a time where we're not going to get to see Bernard around, and I just wanted to pay tribute with him on this particular show, putting him forward for this, because of course the next time we see him, it's going to be even more poignant, because it's going to be his last television work ever, and that's going to be next year.
Somehow, JT, obviously, because none of us were at the man's funeral, obviously, so to us it still seems like with some more Wilf to come, it's almost like Bernard's still with us, isn't it?
It really, really is, and that's the thing about when we get to this time next year, November 23, and we see those final 3 episodes with Bernard Cribbins starring in these episodes alongside the cast there. It's going to be, it's going to be like our final farewell as Doctor Who fans, isn't it? Towards this legend of British television, theatre, and film, radio. Oh man, we are going to miss Bernard so much.
It could be an appearance laced with a little sadness, but I don't think that's what Bernard would have wanted. Obviously, he passed away last July at the age of 93, Charlotte. But this man, for us, for JT and myself, we have grown up with this man constantly on television, or his novelty records on the radio. British institution doesn't quite cover it. He was, but to hold extra generation, just when you thought that Bernard Cribbins was done, when most men of his age, most people of his age would have been settling down to a thoroughly deserved, nice retirement, he had this second creative life as Wilf on Doctor Who, a part that was only supposed to be a one-off, and we know how that came about. That was through tragedy as well, wasn't it? But they lent on Bernard, and he brought more than his share to endure that character. Even though he probably didn't appear as often as we think, did he? But Bernard made such an impact as Wilf. Having him back, it will be mixed blessings, won't it? But JT's right, isn't he? Now is probably the right time to honour Bernard in whatever way we can.
Yeah, especially as we now know he probably wasn't in the best health when he was filming. And the fact that he came back and he did those scenes just shows the dedication. And if there's a word I would associate with Bernard, it's that. Whether it's Doctor Who, whether it's personal life, like with his wife and other stuff, you could tell when he was for something, he would give his 100%. And I'll always remember watching that first appearance, because back then I would still watch the Christmas Invasion with my like Christmas specials with my family. And I didn't know who he was. Yes. I didn't have that. And I can just remember, I think it was my dad actually, just his face when he was like, "Oh, it's Bernard Cribbins." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Who?" Yeah. And he explained to me afterwards, but I instantly fell in love with Wilf, because it was just, here's this lovely, funny old man who's like there banging on about how he loves the Queen and like, "Oh, I'm here, Mom, because you've not left." And he just instantly caught you. And then it was just perfect when Russell was like, "Yeah, I'll bring him back for Donna's proper series."
It was magical, that, wasn't it? That just all fit, because there he is doing a cameo in Voyage of the Damned, and then circumstances happen, and they had this brainwave, let's approach Bernard and see if he wants to come back, and he did. And that was the magic of Cribbins as well, really, because he was then introduced to another generation of young people. Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a very popular choice in the live chat on YouTube to release the Jack and Ori Bernard Cribbins box set, demands Peter Harrington. Timescale says, "Oh, Bernard Cribbins, our lovely Doctor Who grandpa." Yeah. Simon Ashley, yes, the late, great Bernard Cribbins. Charles says, "Fab choice, JT. He would have been mine too. Well done." The legend, simply the legend, says Raymond Williams. And Paul Murray says, "It's so hard to think that he's no longer with us." I think I've spoken about it before on the show earlier this year. I was in contact with Bernard's manager, and we came very, very close to getting Bernard on the show. He had to pull out. All of Time and Space called rather than our show. We, you couldn't. it's understandable, isn't it? All things considered. I'll always be a little sad that I never got to speak to Bernard Cribbins. But obviously, so much of his work is out there. You know, the Railway Children, all those movies, the TV shows. In fact, the advert that we had in the Type 40 ad break tonight, that one, that was another little nugget that I found fresh. I had never seen that advert before. I'm always finding out new things that Bernard Cribbins did that I've either never seen, JT, or forgotten that he did. What a career.
And it's not over yet. This time next year, we'll see his performances in Doctor Who, and we'll be here to talk about him there. So, fantastic.
One last shout. And if you agree with JT, you want to get behind JT's nomination there for the Type 40 Live Face of 2022, we'll be letting you know how you can register your vote later on in the show, where you can do that, how you can get involved between now and the Christmas show, where we will be announcing the winner. Yeah, you know, Bernard Cribbins, obviously it's very sad he's no longer with us, but I don't think he'd want us being sad. I think he'd want us to enjoy those specials, enjoy these performances that he's going to give, and to be reminded of all the fun times that we had with Bernard Cribbins while we were growing up, all the stories that he told us. Thanks for that, JT. It's a lovely nomination.
He'd want us to remember him firing that paint gun at that Dalek.
Twice. Yes. Absolutely.
And it's very, very popular in the live chat. He really would, says Starry. The Wombles was a great kids show back in the day, says Matt Pott. Yep. Matt Pott's up. Heaven knows what time of day it is for him. It's good to see you there, Matt. What else? Looking through the live chat, as always. I recently saw a clip of him on the Roy Castle show on YouTube as Aidan McGear, and I thought I recognised Roy Castle. Ian in the Peter Cushing movie. Yes, that's the two stars, the two heroic leads of the Peter Cushing films there together. Very, very nice. You'll have to let us know, Aidan, which one that was and where we can find it. We can direct people towards that Roy Castle show. That sounds like a lot of fun. And who else is here? What else is being said? Will Hadcroft's here too. I asked a question and the chat has gone and jumped on me, but I don't know about that. I don't know. But of course, Bernard Cribbins he was in line to play the Fourth Doctor, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, he was on the selection list, wasn't he?
Oh, speaking of which, I've got a phone call. It's not from a parallel universe. It's the Fourth Doctor.
What?
He's here. He's here, everybody. He's here and he wants in. So, yeah, I've got to let him in. Welcome, the Doctor, everybody. The Doctor.
Oh.
Hello, Doctor. Hello.
Oh, we've lost you. We can't hear you.
This is just turn this thing off. Turn it off at once.
Is the one?
There we go.
We can't hear you. Come closer to your microphone. We can't hear you. There we go.
We've got problems in the vortex.
There we go.
I think the watch is interfering with him.
I was going to say.
No, this is like the Five Doctors.
Yes.
He's been put back into
There
you are.
There I am. Can you see me now?
We can see you now.
I think we were having a few issues because I'm this lovely shade of green.
You are
my
gorgeous.
old friend Terry Dix, he said the best colour is green.
Yeah, he did. He said it often. Yes.
He's not wrong, is he? That's green.
Yeah, the best monsters are green, and the best Doctor is green. Hello, my dears. Do you like my new outfit? Look, I've got June Hudson, this lovely old dear, has done me a brand new outfit.
Wow.
It is. Let's get a closer. Let's get a close look. That's absolutely beautiful. The original lunatic Simon Horton. He's got one just like that. I think he'd be very envious of this.
Yes, Will. He has great taste. I think it's marvelous, and it's lovely and snuggly and warm. Just because it's getting colder at this time of year, isn't it?
It is.
It really is.
But you are looking great, Doctor. So says the time scales. In fact, we've got lots of compliments. We've got some of our punters watching along here on the live chat on YouTube who think you're brilliant. Richard Brooks thinks you're brilliant.
Absolutely splendid. Well, I think you're brilliant. Marvelous.
Doctor, what adventures do you get up to on the Avenue Who YouTube channel?
Well, just recently, me and Lala, we popped back to Windsweep Quarry. That was marvelous. We got to mooch around Scarrow. It was very exciting. And you know where you can see that video?
Where?
You can see it on YouTube /Avenue Who. Yes.
Sounds
knew
fantastic. We're doing requests, Doctor. We're doing requests. Will Hadcroft says, can you say Begonia Pope?
Begonia Pope. Will that do?
Yes, I would do.
I'm somewhat speechless here, Charlotte, at meeting the Doctor, the definitive
The
article.
Doctor. I often find myself revisiting the favourites, but me.
Yeah.
Just you. That's all we need.
Just me.
Doctor.
Yes. Although trying to tell that David, he's just think he's bigger than his boots right now.
Do you think he's getting ideas above his station, and you need to stage the comeback and sort of?
Absolutely. Do you all agree? I think I should have been back. It should have been me. I was robbed by that little mockney cockney twerp.
Well, Doctor, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have David Tennant coming back because you were the first.
That is true. Get Russell on the phone now. Do it. Get him now.
I think we can arrange that for you.
Will Hadcroft says you're perfect, Doctor.
Perfect, absolutely. And Will Hadcroft, you're perfect too.
Oh,
I love you.
Question here from Mark Milford, who asks, would you like a jelly baby?
Would I like a jelly baby? Yes, I have type 2 diabetes, but that would be nice. Thank you.
This look is on point.
Absolutely.
Good, Doctor says sure.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
Doctor, has anyone presented you with any excellent scripts recently?
Excellent scripts?
Yeah.
Scripts? I write the scripts.
Okay, so they're not Whippet Dung or anything like that?
Yeah, you could say that, but I couldn't possibly. I'll get cancelled.
We all know the legend.
They wouldn't dare, Doctor, not you.
No.
You are my favourite Doctor, says Simon. But what was the most troublesome of all those Doctor Who monsters that you had to square up against?
Well, there was that one in the pit. Now, I blew into his appendage, and I got into a lot of trouble for that.
Did you?
I did. Because it was a wrong appendage, JT!
Oh, no!
No!
That's something that we always worried about, and we now know the truth, Facebookers.
It's true, it was the wrong one! Be careful what appendages you blow into, JT! Be careful. Be very careful.
I think I'm in enough trouble for what I said earlier on. Don't mention Sharda, said Peter Harrington.
Sharda!
You did it! You did it! I know I did it! Oh, God. I've only got myself to blame. Oh, dear. Don't mention Lala Ward. What about... Who's Lala Ward? No, best we won't mention.
Lala Ward. Oh, now she... Oh, was the noblest Romana of them all. Oh! That's all I have to say about that.
So we've heard fantastic costume. Doctor says Tony.
Marvelous, isn't it? Well, yes, it's my new one. It's a debut. I thought I'd dress up for the occasion.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
There we go. I thought I'd better make an effort, given that we couldn't see my marvelous background.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, it's as green as a cabbage, and as we remember, as Starry-Eyed Girl says, she reminds us, you wanted to travel with a cabbage, didn't you, as your companion? Is this an ambition?
Well, some would say I did when Matthew came on board. What? I didn't say that. What? I didn't. No, you simply imagined it.
Sorry, Matthew, if you're watching.
Matthew, I love you. Call me.
Look, this is proving to be a real night of stars here at Type 40 Live, and it wouldn't have been complete without the definitive definitive Doctor. So, yeah, well, thank you for spending valuable time, because we know you're still out there somewhere righting wrongs and sorting out those monsters, Doctor. That
Absolutely,
you are
yes.
the one incarnation who will never rest.
Can I just ask the Doctor before he goes back into the time vortex?
Yes.
Look the other way. I'm over here. There we are, darling. Thank you so much. There you go. So listen, what did you think of Tegan?
Tegan.
Yeah.
The mouth on legs. Ah!
Yeah.
You know, when she walked into my TARDIS and she announced to everybody over the PA system, my name's Tegan Javanka. I thought that girl's going to go a long way. My name. Great name, isn't it?
It's a fabulous name. This
Brilliant.
is the best Type 40 live ever, says Shah. Thank you.
You should have me on every week.
We should
You'd be very
indeed.
welcome.
I don't think Dan could cope with you every week.
What?
Well,
Let us know in the comment section if you'd like to see the doctor's back. And whilst you're there, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the cloister bell. Oh, don't hit the cloister bell anywhere near this, Doctor.
Not the cloister bell.
Yes, the cloister
Imminent
bell.
catastrophe. That blooming watch will turn up in a minute. You just watch, and then I'll turn into a wet bit. I'm not having that again.
Your number's up. Yes, thank you, Doctor. We know that you don't suffer falls gladly. But it's
No, I'm going now. I'm bored.
Real ambition to be. All right,
Lovely to see you, Doctor.
Go and get your gams round some jelly babies, my friend.
Bye bye.
Take care.
You can switch the green screen on now. I'm.
Bye bye.
You're not getting this anywhere else, are you, Facebookers?
No.
This is it.
I always heard that Doctor was a handful, Charlotte.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. It's oh God, we've got lots of comments here. Matt Potts said he already has a very naughty boy. Thank you. Oh, I think I know what he's talking about. He's talking about himself there. Dan has his question mark boxers on, says Sarah. How did you know?
How do you know, Sarah?
Yeah. How did you know? How very dare you about Matthew, says Tony L. And yeah, lots of people. Yeah, lots of people get it. They get it, I think. But who will be getting the Type 40 Live Face of 2022 award for this year? I know that's the question that you lot really want the answer to. And we have another nominee now. So this is the next one. I'm just we're way off base here, but no, we're going to go with this anyway. This is Janet Fielding. Of course it is. The wonderful Janet Fielding, star of classic Doctor Who. Now, she's not my nomination. She's not Charlotte's nomination. And she's not JT's nomination. You've heard ours. Janet is the nomination of the original Lunatic, Mr. Simon Horton, who, as we speak, is somewhere. I'm not sure where he is, actually, but I've seen some of his holiday snaps, so I know he's out there having a fabulous time, getting some clean air, maybe trading some dirty jokes, and he's there with his family having a brilliant time.
The Eye of Orion.
But he's not. It could be right up the Eye of Orion and to the left. But yeah, he hasn't been too busy to send in his nomination for the Type 40 Live Face of 2022. And I have Simon's words about Janet Fielding and why Janet Fielding right here. And Simon says, it's simply that I've been waiting for Tegan to return to the show since Sarah had returned in 2006. She seemed like such an obvious choice to me. The character has always been divisive. Some love her, some loathe her. But for me, she's the iconic 80s companion. And Janet Fielding brings her to life magnificently. I always find Janet herself to be nothing short of thoroughly entertaining on DVD commentaries and the only saving grace of the behind the sofa Blu-ray features. Simon mentions that quite a lot. Her return in the Power of the Doctor was by far and away the best thing about the episode. I feel Chibnall did the character a disservice. God, that's not like him. I feel Chibnall did the character a disservice, making her far too abrasive and grumpy, and I still have absolutely no idea how she managed to survive a fall all the way down a lift shaft. Nevertheless, seeing a character I love back in action with Janet Fielding's priceless performance was a joy. Janet herself has gone through some tough times in recent years, and for me, Her long overdue return to the screen means I can't think of anyone more deserving of the Type 40 Doctor Who face of 2022. Janet Fielding, JT, she's been associated with the show now for an incredible 42 years since that final Tom Baker season there. And Simon's right. Tegan has always been this kind of lover or loather character, hasn't she? I've always found that quite that bizarre because I've just always liked the fact she's so rounded. We feel like we know who she is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people that can love her or leave her, and a lot of the time I tend to leave her. But I do appreciate Tegan when she's in the episodes that I watch her in, and of course she ran through most of Davison's, bar, just bar 2. Wasn't it really? And it's very difficult to
she's synonymous with the character, isn't she? And that's why
it's difficult to imagine him without her.
Yeah, that's it. You picture them together the same way you do the second Doctor and Jamie, Charlotte.
Yeah, I think Davidson Scott. It's either Tegan or Nyssa for me, sort of for that Doctor.
Yeah.
And see, I was odd because I don't love her in classic. She's one of the companions that can get on my nerves, but I actually quite liked her in Power of the Doctor. I think they actually toned her down a bit, to me it seemed, and they sort of gave her a bit more of sort of a nuance almost. But I don't know if that was just Janet's performance or if it was the writing. You can't tell sometimes.
I would hope that
was Janet
anyway, because she was Tegan would have been older. What is Tegan now, in her 60s? If it was modern day, was it set in the present day?
It was set in the present day. I believe that the character is meant to be in the mid-60s,
Yeah. So and knowing Tegan as well, she would have had a rough ride since getting back to Earth. I'm sure she didn't make full promise of a life, because she's very gung-ho, Tegan, isn't she? She's, speak first, think after. So I'm sure she had a very interesting life. But I would have hoped, Charlotte, that would have helped. But it's nice to see Janet still around because I don't know if you know this, but for a little while, Janet, like Tom and certain other actors, wasn't involved with fandom for so much. So when they start to come back, it's nice to actually see them.
I know, I bet it is.
Yeah, and then to get them appreciating what they're doing as well, that's quite sweet.
And she even left acting behind completely, didn't she? And she was obviously she was Paul McGann's agent, and she negotiated the role of the Doctor for him in 1996. It's strange how that is to us, but I suppose it's for her. It was probably just business, just day-to-day work.
She didn't want him to do it. Remember, she actually advised him not to do it back in 95. They approached, and then obviously filmed in 96. But she advised him, "No, don't do this. You're not going to." How things change.
16 years ago. Next year, Janet will be celebrating her 70th birthday, believe it or not.
Oh wow! No, I don't believe it.
She still seems so vibrant and energetic, and she's always got something to say. I can't say that I agree with everything that she says. I don't agree with everything I say. But I like the fact that characters like Janet Fielding are in the Doctor Who universe. I like the fact they're so engaged. I love the fact that she now gets it, understands why we love the character and why we love her. I actually agree with what Simon said. I think that the characters, the companions in particular, that have their flaws built into them, written into them. I don't know if they're more fun to play. I don't know. I haven't read an interview with Janet for a while, so I don't know how she feels about the writing of it. But I would rather have characters on the several levels than characters that are just sort of fluffy and bouncing and two-dimensional. I suppose you could argue that Tegan went the other way, and maybe that was a hindrance to her. I don't know, but I always felt that Janet was giving absolutely 150% all the time on audio as well.
I can't comment about the audios, but it's interesting that this is Simon's choice, obviously, for Janet. And Simon doesn't like the behind the sofa feature on the Blu-rays. But when Janet's on it, it's definitely an entertaining watch. Let's put it that way. She makes some of those things, really. I think she's quite funny.
It absolutely is. I think it's a strong nomination. And, I went for Sophie Aldred for a lot of the same reasons. Tegan, she's probably a tie. When I was growing up, Tegan and Ace, probably my two favourite companions, very much of their time. And for me, yeah, Janet Fielding and the early 80s, particularly some of the stuff they used to squeeze her into. I had a massive crush on Janet Fielding, but I genuinely liked the character and I love the dynamic as well between her and the Doctor. And now, obviously, you see it for what it is, and I recognise the frustrations that Janet probably felt, and that Peter's voiced too. But for me, it was a magical time, and yeah, I think that's a good nomination, a timely nomination there from Simon. So let us know what you think of that in the comments section, and whether you agree, your thoughts about Tegan and Janet, and we'll be letting you know how you can register your vote, who you'd like to be the face of 2022 here at Type 40. Yeah, it's thrilling, isn't it? Absolutely thrilling. How on earth can we top that? I don't think anything can spoil. I think anything can spoil my mood. I can't imagine anything at all. But thank you everybody in the live chat for being here. What have we got here? I think this is the name's flashing up on here. I know exactly who this is. What was I saying about somebody who was going to spoil my mood? Okay, you can come in, but any lectures, if you wag that finger at me, you're gone right away, okay? All right, sweetheart, we'll see you in a moment. Yes, she's here, everybody. The Doctor!
Hello there, everybody! I'm the Doctor, but don't you call me Doctor Who, because that's not my name. That's the name of the telly show! Yeah!
Hello.
Hello, I'm back! Did you miss me? I was gone, and now I'm back!
I haven't had a chance to, but you said tag, and we sort of ran, but I was running before you said tag, to tell you the truth. But it's good to see you here. Your skin's looking
No, it's
looking
not.
well.
Stop you telling your fibs, you.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, you're up there, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm really good.
Doctor, this is JT. Yeah. He's not met you yet. He's not watched any of your episodes.
Really? Well, you've got lots to look forward to. Well, I say lots. You've got some to look forward to. I mean, well, I say some. Well, good luck.
Which of your adventures through time and space, your very few adventures through time and space, would you recommend if JT wanted to play catch up? What would be the go-to episode?
That's a really tough one, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what. What's your favourite?
Oh no, she's doing it. I knew she'd do it. You can't bloody help yourself, can you? I'm gonna go. Doctor, I'm gonna have to go for Kablam.
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? That's where
I wouldn't get that far.
Instead of fighting monsters, I fight issues. That was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and Doctor, we'll never forget when you blew that guy up. We'll never forget that.
Well, I'd forgot it. I didn't do nothing. I think you'll find I was the most ineffective pacifist Doctor, except when I killed all them spiders. Yeah, when I locked them in a room because I thought that was nicer than taking them in my TARDIS to Metabolis 3. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
To be fair, Doctor, you'd have needed a bloody big glass to get that spider underneath to take it out, wouldn't you?
Well, he was my friend, really. We're that nice.
Where are you from, Doctor? Where are you from, Doctor?
Me? I'm from Gallifrey, but if you want to know my accent, it's from Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Yeah, Yorkshire.
Yeah,
I'm a shot lass. Yeah.
The live chat on YouTube are delighted to see. In fact, there's more people watching our show tonight than watched your last season, Doctor. So this is the biggest night of your TV life.
I can see you all. And do you know what was really great? Now, a couple of weeks ago, I went to Birmingham.
Did you really?
I did. And I went and met this lady who pretends to be me. That was a job. Yeah. It was great. She's called Jodie Wilson. I don't know, but she was nice. She was
Was she
nice.
And she's pretending to be you. I
She
mean, what's
pretended to be me.
The audacity of some people. We have, but you're looking great. You're looking great these days as the time scales.
Yeah.
Oh, but Doctor, as you're here, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
Why did you keep the same outfit for 3 series? Is there a reason for
I
that?
did change my knickers occasionally. I didn't.
That's good.
Yeah, it's fine. Even though it looks the same, I did have different T-shirts. There's 4 of them. I counted, and then I did have my tuxedo one in that James Bond episode that we did, didn't we? And then I even had a dark blue coat on, didn't I? When I was pretending to be that time thingy, whatever it was. Oh, you've got so much to look forward to, JT. You're gonna love it.
I'm so excited.
I remember the coat. I have no idea what was going on, but I remember the coat. Can't remember the plot. We've got a
No, me
request here.
neither.
Do you do requests, Doctor?
I do, yeah. Can't do
Paul Murray
anything these
asks-
days because I'm unemployed. Because that David came back and he nicked my job. He did.
Paul Murray asks, "Can you say what the flux, please?"
Yeah, I can. Are you listening, Paul? Are you ready? What the flux?
One more time.
You can make that into a GIF. Then turn that into a GIF and then tag me in it.
Again. Do it again when I'm not talking over you. Go.
What the flux?
No,
Magic.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Doctor, I think we've all got a friend on YouTube that loves to be used now and again, and he happens to have a phrase. Could you say "ecky thump"?
Ecky thump.
Yes.
Ecky thump.
There we go, Rabbi.
Just for you, Sfila Betkin. There you go. Don't say we never give you anything. We've got a question from Peter Harrington who simply asks, obviously, we're all a little bit concerned about a poor lamb. It's been a few weeks since the finale, but how's Yaz?
Yeah. Well, Yaz was my favourite of all the Pranks Awards. I mean, my fam. Yeah, she was my favourite until I decided I was like, oh, I'm regenerating. You'll have to go now because that's what happens. That's what happened when I was regenerating with Clara. And oh no, it isn't, is it? No, no, yeah, just her then. I was regenerating, so she had to go out. Sling your root. You've overstayed your welcome.
Ashley says, well, Doctor, I liked your costume in the Centenary special. Do you remember that one?
I do, yeah. I borrowed Sylvester's jumper, and I borrowed Peter's celery, and I borrowed Tom's old scarf, and I had some trolleys on, and I weren't sure where they came from, but they were stinky wet. They were.
No.
Oh, and I had Capaldi's tartan underpants on, because that's my good luck charm, So my first story, I was running around Sheffield, chasing after Tim Shaw, and all the time I was wearing scratchy tartan underpants, and I liked them so much, I'm still wearing them.
But Doctor, is that why you have such lovely expressions?
Yeah, well, watch this.
Right.
I'm really good at acting. Watch this. This is me happy face. This is me sad face. This is me angry face. This is me confused face.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it? I have such amazing range. I'm the
Absolute
best.
dynamite.
Yeah. Are you all right, JT? You've done a bit
fine.
purple. It's as purple as I am.
The bestest
Right.
ever.
Breathe.
Lots of your fans here in the live chat, Doctor. People, you're making a lot of people very, very happy here. There's lots
It's
of
because I'm
smiley
the
faces.
best. Lady one's the best, aren't we? Aren't we the best?
Oh, ladies,
Yeah.
ladies are the best.
Yeah.
Can you
See,
say?
Queen Charlotte knows us lady ones are the best.
Can you say trolleys again from Peter Harrington?
Trolleys. Trolleys.
Oh,
What
God.
trolleys?
It's all right, Joe. It's all right, Doctor. That's probably what you'll be pushing soon.
Oh yeah, well, there you go.
Oh, dear me.
I thought you were
She's
my
just-
friend.
Masterclass in acting, says Peter Harrington. So yeah, you can
Yeah.
you've knocked everybody bandy here. They're amazed.
See,
And
you're all
staggered.
converted now, aren't you? JT can't wait to get off this stream tonight, and he's going to stick them on. He's going to be really excited to see Tim Shaw and his face full of teeth, and he's going to be able to see a talking frog. It just is so exciting. Yeah. And don't worry, because we don't fight no monsters anymore. We just fight issues.
We've been blown away. Your range performance this evening, Doctor. Thank you so much for making the time for us. We know that you've just had a new addition to your family. Congratulations, obviously, on that, and thank you for finally leaving the series. But yeah, it's I'm glad to see that TARDIS is still standing there. It's about to grab you and zap you away. But whatever it is you're going to be doing next.
It looks like a dead spider, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Yeah. I think the expression is, Doctor, good luck in your future endeavours.
Oh, thank you very much. That's lovely of you to say so, Mr. Dan Hadley. That's lovely. Yeah. You're my favourite one. I like you.
Thank you. I'm warming to you, Doctor. It's only taken 4.5 years.
Yeah, you've got lovely hair.
I'm sorry. I'm seeing the light. I'm very much seeing the light. Peter Harrington said, "Have I taken something tonight?"
I think we all have, actually.
I think
not as much as he has.
Yeah.
Well, lovely to see you, Doctor.
One last question. We talked a little bit about Kermit the Frog earlier on, but you remember you hung about with another frog in one of your episodes. Do you know what became of that frog? Do you ever hear from the frog now and again?
No.
Christmas cards, that kind of thing?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
No, no one heard from him, and no one wants to hear from him, quite frankly. No.
We better let you hop off, hadn't we, Doctor? But thanks for making time
See
for
what
us.
you did then? That was funny, that.
Making time for us in the middle of your job search. Yes.
What time is it? Is it time to go to bed now? Oh, we're overrunning! We're overrunning! I've got to go! Bye!
Bye!
Bye, Doctor. Tag, I suppose. Why? I don't know. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the cloister bell to, you know the drill by now. Yeah, if you're not subscribed, come on. A massive percentage of people out there watch the show week in, week out, listen to the show and aren't subscribed. You don't get this anywhere else. You've just seen the very best performance, a career best performance there from the 13th Doctor herself. And why? All for Doctor Who Day and all for the love.
The love of Who!
Doctor Who, which is exactly why Verity Lambert started the show in the first place. She wanted to bring to the screen a show that we would love, that we would cherish, and we'd still be talking about 59 years later, like we have been here on Doctor Who Day. More to come in a moment. We've been going through, haven't we? We've been going through our nominations for the Type 40 Live Face of 2022. But who would you go for out of our picks so far? So we've talked about Bernard Cribbins, haven't we? Janet Fielding, Sophie Aldred, and Ncuti Gatwa. That's just 4 of the people, of the big names from Doctor Who history, past, present, and future, that we have put before you. And we'll be letting you know how you can register your approval. Who do you want to see clinch that title in our big Type 40 Live Christmas party show coming at you in a few weeks' time? You thought it was loud and leery. You wait until you get a load of that. We all start drinking on that one, Charlotte. Or most.
Oh, just that one.
That's
just that
coming up.
stream.
Yeah, fair enough. If Shah's around, yeah. Let's see what people have got to say in the live chat here. Simon Ashley is crying with laughter. Well, glad to know you brought a tear to your eye there. We're very touched, Simon, for Doctor Who Day. Bye, Doctor. Parting is such a sweet sorrow for Tony L there, losing the Doctor. This is insane, adds the writer, Will Hadcroft there. 3 perfect words, Will. Beautifully put together. This is where you can tell he's a writer there. I'd watch an entire series with that, Doctor, says Sarah. My God, this has gone far too quick. I wish her 2.5 seasons.
Don't worry, Pete, you can go back and play it after this and watch it again and see the chaos.
And see JT's face during that last bit.
That's the nearest I'll ever get to Jodie Whittaker, I'm sure.
Mark Milford says it looks like a proper Sesame Street segment.
Thank you, Mark.
Who needs Sesame Street when you have Avenue Who, and more to the point, when you have our new friend, I think, after some of the stuff, our new friend and all his hooligan chums, JJ. Let's bring JJ back on. I think he's still around. If he's managed to round them all up and jam them back into their respective time streams. JJ, can you hear me, JJ? Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Welcome back. While you've been off, we've had all these amazing people beaming in. You missed it all.
No. Did they escape again? Honestly, I just went for a lie down.
Well, it's been very much appreciated. They didn't misbehave too much. I think we got away with it, didn't we, Matthew? Matthew Woodhouse won't sue.
He won't. No.
I'll have a word with Matthew. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine.
He'll be cool with it. He'll be cool with it. But we do have a live chat full of people here, JJ, who have been enjoying their exploits. Thanks, JJ.
Well, at this point, I'd just like to say as well, so thanks for everybody here. Thanks for you inviting me. And I do apologise on behalf of the hooligans. They can be a little bit boisterous, and they can, and disclaimers away, they don't mean to upset or insult. They can just be a bit excitable. So, yeah. But thank you.
You know what I always say, JJ? You don't give offence. It's up to another person whether they take it or not. That's it's all in the spirit of good fun, and that's what we're about here at Type 40 Live. This is where Doctor Who meets good old-fashioned common sense, and we do throw in the laughs for good measure, along with everything else. Avenue Who has a brand new fan in me. That's Shah. She says, "Well done, JJ."
Well, can I just say as well, because that Geordie didn't even bother saying go to YouTube/Avenue Who. Like and subscribe. She's rubbish.
We've got lots of this, lots of thank you. Simon Ashley says, "Well done, guys. This is the best ever Type 40 Live."
Thank you, Simon.
Share the show. Tell people about it. Get lots of lovely feedback from you guys, from our Facebookers, from our companions, from our regulars, and the people who happen upon us. And we know this is a great show. I think we know this. We're not afraid to say that, but we need you to get the word out there. Tell people it's okay, us it being our little secret. It's them you've got to go and tell. So please share the show along to the other Whovians in your life, or to the people who maybe they're not so keen on Doctor Who but might enjoy a good laugh anyway. I don't know. Looks like a proper Sesame Street segment, says Mark Milford there, about the exploits of the hooligans on Avenue Who. There's a tradition of this brand of entertainment, isn't there, JJ? And these type of characters that they just tap into something, I suppose, don't they? I think whatever age group you are, you fall under their spell, you get it, and they just put smiles on faces. Is that the kind of reception that you get when the hooligans are let loose on stage or wherever else when you do the live shows?
Oh, I'd love to say, actually, yes. Like I think Jodie mentioned, we did go to Birmingham, and there were a lot of Jodie fans there, which may come as a surprise to you, JT. I understand.
It really does. I mean, what were there, five or six?
And it was lovely, and so I do get a great reception. I'll be honest, I was really nervous at first before I actually launched and did everything, and it's one of those things, yourself, before you actually start doing something like this, you'll be really scared, you're worried what people will say, will there be feedback, because sometimes you do see on the internet that some fandoms can be quite vocal. But you know what? I've had nothing but love from people, and they're puppets. They get away with murder.
There's a story waiting to happen.
Well, it's been a riot, and the ideal way for us to mark Doctor Who Day here on the 59th anniversary of Doctor Who. Charlotte, I understand that she's had so much fun. You've worn her out, JJ. It's time for Charlotte to dematerialise.
So thank you, and thank you all our lovely guests and JJ. So see you guys next week.
See you, Charlotte.
Good night, Charlotte. Great to see you. Do you fancy looking at some pretty pictures with us, JJ?
I'd love to.
Show.
Yeah, why not?
Round off the
Pretty
show with
pictures.
some sights and some sounds. Particularly if we're looking at playing dress up. You know, you talked about your costuming earlier on, the costuming of your hooligans, how you look after them so beautifully, so impeccably. You make sure that they're turned out immaculately every single time. We even change their heads. Well, some Doctor Who fans, they also go to great lengths to capture the Doctor in them. A bit like Terry Price here, who sent this in. This is Terry out and about. I think that's with his good lady wife, maybe, and they are there. I'm not even sure where they are, but Terry sent this in, and that's his attempt. I think he's doing it. At first I thought it was a bit of a Colonel Sanders thing, but you can tell by the ring he's definitely the third Doctor cosplay there.
Well, I would say no. That's definitely the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, right there. Oh no, not that one. The other guy in the red. Right.
It's a wonderful look, isn't it, there for Terry? He looks like he's having the time of his life.
That's a gorgeous red velvet jacket. I love that.
That's very pretty, yeah. I'm beginning to think that that's his normal day wear, though, because I haven't seen him out of those clothes yet. Any pictures?
Ooh, I bet they pong.
Oh, really? Yes, so that is obviously cosplayers are a massive part of current Doctor Who, and I suppose it's something that has become more popular over the last 10 to 15 years, JJ. And the fan creativity, that also seems to know no bounds. So new technology obviously gets developed, but also processes that for a time were, how can I put this, kind of out of reach, were cost prohibitive. Hobbies and crafting, which seemed completely out of reach to standard Doctor Who fans, and they're quite affordable, aren't they? With the rise of 3D printing and the availability, I suppose, of online courses for people who want to make things that are three-dimensional. You know, I'm an artist, but everything I do is two-dimensional. It's all flat. What you can do, what model makers can do, it just blows my mind being able to make something three-dimensional like that. So I loved seeing your workshop photos earlier on. It's absolutely fantastic. But things are changing again, aren't they? What do you think of the rise of AI, of artificial intelligence? Have you heard all about this?
I have. There's some quite scary stuff out there. Isn't there an app or something where you can just sort of type in, oh, show me like a Salvador Dalek, and
it's funny you should say that, because I've got this from my mate Aaron J. Climus here.
Gosh, it's almost like I set this up. Honest people, no rehearsal.
This is Aaron's card for Doctor Who Day. This was AI generated. So that's some party Daleks there, and a sort of Dalek-y Doctor hybrid there with Tom Baker's season 18 hat on. And I thought, I mean, this is very vibrant, I think, Aaron. Very vibrant. But it's sort of
Could this be the new Dalek design next year, Dan? That's the question.
Oh.
Is the new Dalek designs that are coming from the Bad Wolf stable? Who knows?
I think it's possible.
That's a Ziddy Man hat. That's Doctor Ziddy Man, isn't it?
That's what I thought, JJ. Yeah.
You could be right.
They're the Diddy Daleks.
Diddy Daleks. Remember that with Doddy. Doddy's Diddy Daleks.
Yeah, so that's what AI can do. I mean, it's just the tip of the iceberg. I've seen some very sophisticated ones, but that really did make me laugh. We have this as well. This is an illustration. We couldn't possibly not feature this illustration of the first Doctor and the TARDIS there. And I think this is the artist Blair. I think it's Blair Shedd's work. I'm not sure. I haven't got a credited artist to this, but it looks very much like it to me. But it captures the early romance, I think, of the Hartnell era and the possibilities for something that was obviously just beginning. And the open door to the TARDIS, I think, maybe I'm I'm getting pretentious about this, but when I just think it's a lovely sight. And I think that would have been one of Hartnell's original publicity pictures that the artist has used as reference there. And the Starry Night always reminds me of that montage at the end of the
Time Medley.
At the end of the Time Medley, yeah, when you see Stephen's face and Vicky's face too, and the stars. What an old romantic! And they say Doctor Who isn't a romantic show, JJ.
You say it reminds you of that. For me, it's my bathroom mirror after I've been brushing my teeth. That's what that looks like. There's bits of toothpaste spittle all over me mirror.
Oh.
Absolutely love it. What else have we got? I've also got. Let me talk about pretty pictures. I've got this. So yeah, we are obviously we talk about earlier on. We talked about the 60th anniversary year and the possibilities going forward. We look back and we go forward on Doctor Who Day. And I found this photograph earlier on. I just thought it was a very pretty picture there. Verity Lambert and Russell T Davies back in 2008. I think this was not long before Verity passed away. Russell and Verity got together for an article with SFX magazine, and they talked about Doctor Who. It was a very general interview, I think, but they had enormous professional respect for one another. Obviously, Verity had this huge career. Doctor Who was not the precise beginning, but it was very, very early for her. And Russell, by the time he took the reins of Doctor Who, he'd got several big successes under his belt. There've been a lot more since. And I just think this sums up really now. Here we are at a time where Russell's come back, JT. People have mixed feelings about it, but generally speaking, the fandom, things are definitely re-energized. And so I saw this and I thought, yeah, this may be 15 plus years ago, but I think this is where we are. This is sort of where we are now. It's up to us whether we take that TARDIS and run with it and run with the possibilities for next year or not, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, and the picture is relevant now because it's the same again, isn't it? Verity started and Russell's there now. Fine.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Verity Lambert? Either of you, JT?
No, I sadly never did meet Verity. I know Russell quite well though, but not in a Doctor Who circle. I know him through friends. Yeah.
Please pass on our regards.
I was very lucky to meet Verity, and she was a charming woman. I had breakfast with her at a Doctor Who convention once, because that's what we used to do in the old days. Carol Ford on one side, and I had Verity on the other side, telling me all about various stuff that she was working on and what have you. So that would have been, that would have been the 40th, maybe. It might have been the 30th when I first met her, the 30th anniversary. But I can tell you, she was a lovely woman, and she cared very deeply about the show. She was very honest about her views towards the end of the years for Doctor Who in the original run, and hopes for the future, but also talking about other projects she was doing and how stressful the industry was at that point as well with various projects. But she was wonderful, lovely woman.
Class act. I do wonder what she'd make of it now, and whether obviously now she'd be how old would she be? She was born in the late 30s, wasn't she?
She'd be as old as her gums and a little older than her teeth.
There you go.
That's all you need to know. You don't ask a lady how old she is.
No,
well, I was thinking about the late Beryl Virtue, who died last year, who was the head of Heartswood and was Terry Nation's agent, wasn't she? And she was Stephen Moffat's mother-in-law, and was also, like Verity, she was one of these big heavyweights in the industry, hit after hit after hit after hit, very well respected, and was still very creatively involved in television pretty much up until the time she passed away last year. And I do wonder, would Verity would she still be doing that? Would anything have tempted her back to Doctor Who? What would have tapped into that with her? I think she may have been tempted to I don't know. I know there was talk of it in the early 90s, wasn't there, that it never came to pass when Cinema Verity was first taking off. But who knows or dares to dream? Eh?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Timescale says that Verity Lambert was born November the 27th, 1935. Yeah. Absolutely wonderful. Mark Milford, past and future producers. Very nice. One last pretty picture. You may have wondered why we haven't mentioned this yet, because both JT and I are somewhat fussy when it comes to Doctor Who logos. But we had a brand new one revealed, didn't we, about 3 weeks ago? That lovely brand new old diamond logo that really got up your nose. You need to get your lawyers definitely onto that. Don't know where they've got that from. But no sooner have we had one logo, and we've all got used to that, and it started to turn up on merchandise too. No sooner have we got that, we've got a second. This has to be the prettiest of pictures that lets us know the 60th year of Doctor Who has begun. 12 months countdown until we get whoever we're getting, and when all new Doctor Who starts to open up for us, the third iteration of our favourite show. Stick with us here at Type 40 and Type 40 Live. Nobody does it better, and we'll always be here with the right blend of Doctor Who, common sense, fun and games, and time and space. Whatever they spring on us for that 60th anniversary, we'll get through it together, everybody. But JT, I was delighted to see this. I mean, it's again, just like the standard version of the logo, this reminds me of anniversaries past as well as series past. It reminds me of the 30th anniversary logo we got on the VHS tapes with the sash with the dates draped around the bottom. It's sort of its legacy to the people who aren't dyed in the wool fans. That will be lost on them. It's no barrier to anybody. But it just looks beautiful with the diamond sort of patterning there.
Every year, apart from the 20th and the 10th, obviously, it has had a variation on the logo. So this is a homage, of course, to the 30th. We had one for the Ruby in the 40th anniversary year. We had the golden one for the 50th, and now we've got this. It's very appropriate. It was expected. It's beautiful what they've done with the diamond. It's very creative. It looks wonderful, and I'm looking forward to seeing this at various events and whatever, and on stickers, on branded merchandise next year.
Oh, yeah. Gorgeous. And just as you teased, the merchandise explosion has begun. I can't wait to take the next trip to Merchandise Paradise, and we can see what's washed up on the shores already. You're bound to have got your eye on a few things. It's all started to appear. It was a very active Doctor Who day. They announced something on the hour, every hour, so much so we're bound to be picking our way through it here on Type 40 Live, probably from now until well into the anniversary year. So let us know what's caught your eye, what will be on your Christmas list, or what have you had a nudge with your relatives about, maybe birthday presents? What are you looking forward to?
Caught my eye.
What caught your eye?
I saw some amazing Avenue Who merchandise over on Redbubble. That's what I saw.
So the Redbubble shop is the place to go to get your... People were asking about that. People were asking, are there Avenue Who items of merchandise that they can get? Where's that? It was earlier on in the chat. And it seems like, yes, there are. We'll make sure that all the links are in the description of the video, in the show notes of the podcast. You won't be in any doubt about where you can find JT, JJ, and the Wholigans, and the merchandise, and everything. I pulled that back all right, didn't I? And you can find all of that. We'll give you so much text, so many links. You'll be no doubt whatsoever.
We're interchangeable. It's the shiny heads. I understand.
What a show.
JJ, fantastic to meet you, mate. And all your pals, thank you so much for spending Doctor Who Day
They're all over there.
+1 2022 with us. We do sincerely come and play with us again. You can bring some of your friends. Well, you can maybe bring a couple
I'd love to. Yeah, I'm already getting evils off Missy because she wasn't invited on. And poor old John's over there saying he can smell carrots and,
Brilliant.
Well, it's great stuff, because we've had some Spacebookers in the chats as well asking about various things. All I can say is subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Type 40, the Spacebook rather, because stay tuned over the festive period.
Stay tuned. Hell of a lot coming between.
We have plans.
Between now and then, aren't there, JT? Obviously, we're very excited about what and where Doctor Who could go next year. But, before we get there, we've still several shows here to come on Type 40 Live, on the countdown to Christmas, and we've got lots else planned, both on the live streams and the podcast. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the cloister bell so you get all the notifications about what we're doing next and when we're doing it. Thanks again for joining us on this one, JJ. It's been brilliant. Happy Doctor Who Day to you.
Thanks
to
for having
everybody
me.
watching out there. JT, as always, it's a scream. It's been a great couple of years doing this show. I love doing stuff like this, even if it goes slightly wrong, when things go slightly off and up the wall. That's all part of the fun. That's part of the novelty of doing it live. We must be mad, JT, but this is what fandom's all about. It is. Okay, yes. So I've done it all, haven't I? Like, subscribe, share. Thanks. Cheers for the comments, everyone. We'll be back with more Type 40 Live next time. More videos, more podcasts coming your way. We always have the time, if you have the space, here at Type 40 and Type 40 Live. Happy Doctor Who Day. We'll speak to you all again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.